back by extremely unpopular demand. We are here to do the tier list. Once again, we are sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry for all the updates. I'm sorry for all the teasing, the tickling, the dangling the carrot. I wasn't trying to dangle the carrot, Things happen. If you don't know, I lost a lot of the footage for the video thanks to a really stupid hard drive. Note to self, by the way, spoilers, never buy a Western Digital hard drive. They are garbage, honestly, and also their repair policy is also garbage, because this video would have been out sooner if I would have got that hard drive repair. But guess how much that cost? $1,000. So here we are doing the video again, even though the last one was nearly complete. It was nearly perfect. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's sat here and waited for this patiently. Y'all could have said, Shine, you're a fool, I'm unsubbing, I'm subscribing, I'm angry. You honestly could have did everything under the sun and I would have completely understood. But here we are, back in earnest to do the Gundam tier list. Once again, we're going to rank nearly every series, because I've seen every series except Build Divers. Because y'all cannot make me watch. No one can make me watch Build Divers. You can't make me. I won't do it. So, here's all the comments. If you see your comment going by, cool. Awesome. One more thing I want to get out of the way is, if this video gets out, let's say 3 likes, we'll do the Gundam waifu tier list again. Because I've seen all the Gundam waifus, and boy, I have more waifus to rank. So, let's get into the video. And if you see your comment going by, also give the if you see your comment going by, give the video a like. Shameless promotion. We need likes out here. We need likes out here, But without further ado, let's get to the video. Alright, you guys know the rules, you know how this works. Here are the series that will be ranked. Now, it's been very difficult to find a Gundam tier list with every tier list. Honestly, is Witcher Mercury even here? Because Witcher Mercury Core 1 is... freak, okay. Okay, Witcher Mercury is not here. Let me find a different one. Give me a moment. Jesus Christ, this is so annoying. Frick, it's not here. Because I need G-Sabers on here, because I'm going to rank G-Sabers. I need one with Witcher Mercury, but I also need one with G-Sabers. Oh, I almost got G-Sabers. Oh, this one got G-Sabers. Okay, I found a better one. Okay, I think I found one that has all the series. Alright. Wait, okay. Oh, we were still recording. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I found one with the... I'm gonna keep that in. It's funny. That's hilarious. That's funny. Okay, I'm sorry about the intro. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna crucify me for the intro, but here we are. So, welcome to the tier list. Now, I also been told not to scroll, so I will try my best not to scroll. Again, commenter, I saw you. I noticed that. I'm sorry. Again, I saw you. Your comments have been seen. I will not scroll. I will also try not to repeat myself. Commenter, I saw that. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. So, here are the tiers. Okay, that's not right. Let me fix the tiers. The tiers are not right. We need to add more tiers. This isn't correct. Okay, I had to fix it. Here we go. We fixed it. So, once again, here are the tier lists. Here's the tier list format. Currently watching at the bottom, because I don't know, there's probably something on here that I probably haven't seen, because honestly, this is 50 plus series. S. So, once again, the tier list goes like this. S is the best, F is the worst, A, B, and C are different ranks in between, and that's how we go. Here's all the series that are here. Nearly everything is here. We have Cucuruz Duns Island. We have Hathaway's Flash. We have Witch from Mercury. We have Wing Endless Waltz. We have MS Igloo. We have the second terrible Thunderbolt movie. We have Gundam 30. So that 30 Gundam, that Gundam thing. We have all of it. Everything's here. So let's get on to it, because I already made you sit through a long-winded ending. So a long-winded opening. So let's get into this. Let's do this. Number 1, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphan, because I love being picked on. I want to get that out the way. Okay, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphan, it's a pretty decent show. It is an alternate universe Gundam show. It's basically the Calamity War. It's basically set after a big event called the Calamity War, and we're basically following a ragtag troop of mercenaries. Well, not mercenaries. Right now, they're kind of, lack of a better term, and you could say they're basically forced slave labor on Mars. Honestly, those guys had it really rough. They basically had no freedom, but that's neither here nor there, and their work conditions are kind of actually awful. So basically, this Gundam series is set on Mars, and basically for everyone to pilot these awesome systems, they need this thing called the Leia Vignata, and the Leia Vignata system is basically something where you have to forcefully get a surgery done and have it forcibly implanted into your body. Yeah, that's a little rough, ain't it? You know, and you thought your job sucked. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it sucks for everybody involved. It's really bad. So basically, things happen, and then the main characters stumble upon the ancient Gundam in an old abandoned warehouse that they're working on. Their bosses basically try to turn tail and run, and they basically say, "Ha, we're free!" And they basically have to, start an organization, and things go from there. Now, first half of the series is actually phenomenal. If we're talking about Iron Blood Orphan Season 1, phenomenal. Mikazuki, a lovable psychopath. Orga Itsuka, best character. Don't at me. Kudelia Anna Bernstein, god tier waifu. No one, if you've seen my waifu tier list, you know I love Kudelia. God, I love Kudelia. But S tier waifu. Characters, OST, and everything in between, amazing. Mobile suit designs, IBO's mobile suit designs aren't my favorite outside of a couple of things. So, first half series, solid. Just, oh my god, it was perfect. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Down to every minute detail. Season 2, on the other hand, no, it was not perfect. But Iron Blood Season 1, from the opening conflict to how everything started up, honestly, rewatching a couple episodes of it, I loved it. It was amazing. So I'm going to give Iron Blood Orphan Season 1, we're going to give it a B tier, dude. My god, just everything about it, I remember, it's rushing back. Even though I don't like the mobile suits, I still think the characters were fun. I think the series was fun. So I will give IBO Season 1, which is right here. That was Season 2 I was staring at, which is funny. I'll give it, let's go B. I want to give it a B. So Iron Blood Season 1, B. Just nearly perfect. By my standards. There are things I don't like, but as a series, it's perfectly fine. I do like IBO. Spoiler alerts, I don't hate IBO, I just don't like some things that happen in the second season. People think I hate IBO, which is so funny. It's funny that people think I hate IBO, even though I had a really fun time watching it. It's just not my favorite series. I love it though. Not my favorite. Next. Heck, if I didn't like IBO, would I have played the IBO mobile game? Haha, shameless plug. Go watch that video after this video, of course. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Anyway. IBO Season 2. Now, due to lore and plot reasons of what happened at the end of the first season, Season 2 started out pretty okay. They mostly got what they wanted, per se. They got what they needed, without, getting into spoilers. They got what they needed, and they were on their way to having a good time. Until they met a certain Char-like, who basically turned the whole thing upside down, and then the show just started spiraling into madness after that fact. It just went down, down, down. Obviously, one of my favorite suits from this series is a mobile suit. My standout favorite mobile suits. Now, there's only a couple of mobile suits from IBO that I absolutely adore, including from the split up mobile game, the Gundam Venus. Love that thing. I also love from this series the Gundam Vidar, the best mobile suit, and then its really terrible revision. Oh my god, I hate that thing. The oh so terrible. I don't even want to say its name. I hate this thing. I really hate this thing. How do you take the Vidar, one of the best things ever, and ruin it? Honestly. But I can have a rant about the Vidar on a whole nother thing. But second season, it seemed like things were going well. Characters got what they wanted. Things seemed like they was going great. They made a lot of characters from the second season were having a good time. Everything seemed like it was going okay. And then it didn't go okay. First thing, what dragged this series second season down really bad? Well, first, the mobile armor fight was pretty cool, which everyone hypes up mobile armor fights because, oh my god, it's a mobile armor. Oh my god, look how strong the main Gundam is. It took out the mobile armor. It's like, every Gundam protagonist fights a mobile armor, so it's not that big of a deal, realistically. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The animation was clean, but that's about it. It's just the animation was clean. Honestly, IBO Season 2 is just kind of a wet blanket. Where Season 1, look, you know the horse meme where the first half was drawn pretty well and the second half is just like a really poorly drawn crayon? That's what season 2 is in my brain. It's like, ooh, it's got that second season curse, which I take a shot every time I say or drink, please. Please drink responsibly. Take a shot or a drink every time I say the second season curse, because it's gonna become a fun game. Please don't drink too heavily. This is for fun. Please don't drink too heavily. The second season of IBO, though, it's just, in my mind, it just a lot of really bad decisions. Now, one thing that the first season did was the main Gundam kept getting upgrades, which might be something that's carrying over to Witch Mercury, which I don't like. How when a Gundam gets upgraded, it makes sense. Okay, mid-season you need to get some upgrades, then you get your second version. This series, the main Gundam never had a second Gundam. It's just like, okay, it's the main Gundam Form 1, main Gundam Form 2, main Gundam Form 3, and main Gundam Form 4. It's like, okay, that's fantastic. I don't like that. So, IBO Season 2, honestly, Rage from Dust, I'm trying to think of positives. I'm trying to think of positives and negative. Positives, Rage from Dust is really great. But this Fighter is not a good song. I mean, Fighter is an okay song, but Rage from Dust is better. Spyro, I should, spoiler alerts, I'm a Spyro diehard thanks to Bleach, so I love Spyro. I'm a Spyro diehard, just to make that clear. Rage from Dust is an okay song. I mean, it's a great song. Characterization, everything seems like fine. The main character, I didn't talk about Lofter in them because that's a spoiler, because I don't want to spoil. I really don't want to spoil this if people haven't seen it, but if they have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to subtly allude to what I'm talking about without outright spoiling what happens. A lot of things go great. A lot of things end up, for second season, for a while, seems fine, but then it just goes bad for everyone involved. Outside of a couple of few characters who got to survive the conflict, which I won't say who did and didn't die, because that's a spoiler, but it just left us, the second season left a sour taste in my mouth. First season was great. It was good. It had good character drama. You could tell that there were hints of what happens in season 2 and season 1. Like, oh man, if Orga didn't do this wouldn't have happened. Oh, this would have been great. It's like, But second season, it just seemed like it turned into well, what can we do for shock value? Instead of, okay, this is what we're doing because this makes an intentional story decision. And that's why I kind of dislike season 2. It's like, it took what made, like IBO season 1 was intense for the right reason, while season 2 was intense just for, oh look, who can we get this week? Oh, who can we take out this week? Oh, look at that, you weren't expecting that. Oh, they're gone, ha ha ha. It's like, I was just like, I just got bored. I was like, oh, I was sad. It hurt my heart. Lofter didn't deserve it. Lofter definitely didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve that one. Poor Lofter. Didn't deserve that one, man. Yeah, IBO season 2. I'm gonna give it the D tier because also I just noticed C and D are opposites. They weren't supposed to be opposite. I just fixed it. I fixed it. Don't worry. I fixed it, guys. I noticed it. You don't have to comment it out. So IBO season. All right, that's 2 for 2. We got 2 out of 50 done. That's awesome. So next. Is that battlelog? I still cannot find these. I haven't seen the battle-logs. I've seen one of them and I thought they were fun. There's no story to battle-logs. The battle-logs are just basically everything that happens after Build Divers, so I should talk about Build Divers first. So let's start with Build Divers Beginning G. What was the Gundam Build Divers Beginning G? It is basically a glorified toy commercial it's like a glorified toy commercial or let's say a test animation per se for what the Build series would eventually become, and it's actually a pretty fun short. It's like, short isn't correct. It's like technically, for the sub version, when it came out, it wasn't subtitled, but you can watch fan subs of it now. It's basically like a short where you can, it's just full on fighting, a little bit of gunpla etiquette, and a little bit of everything in between, and it's okay, for a 4-hour toy, I want to say like an hour toy commercial, it's not bad for an hour toy commercial. I think it's awesome. The beginning G Gundam is kind of ugly, but it's ugly in a good way. It's ugly in a good way, not a bad way. It's not like oh my god, it assaulted my eyes. It's like I can grow to like this. Characters are just pretty basic. You got your main character, and it's a glorified Gundam toy commercial. Technically, all Gundam shows are a glorified toy commercial, but we don't say that out loud now. We get canceled for saying things like that, don't we? So overall, Beginning G isn't bad. It's It's not really notable. It's just beginning G, so I'll just give it. I'll give it the D tier. It's not really notable for really anything. It's just honestly, people don't go. I'm not gonna see 50 people in the comments say, "Why'd you give beginning G a low score?" It's like no one really cares about beginning G. You watch it, you like it, and then you move on with your life. There's no big grand reveal or like, wow, this story impacted my soul or something. It's just like, it's okay. It's beginning G. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Next, oh my God, the GOAT. The GOAT. It was perfect. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Divers. Now, I honestly shouldn't be talking about Build Divers before Build Divers. I shouldn't be talking about Re-Rise before Build Divers Re-Rise. I just repeated myself on accident. Let me rephrase that. I shouldn't be talking about Build Divers Re-Rise before talking about Build Divers, but Build Divers Re-Rise is basically, what if Gundam was a VR MMO game with real-life circumstances? And you're probably like, what does that mean? I'll explain that later. So basically, Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise takes place in a virtual world called GBN. And you basically, what if, you know, we've all thought this, what if our Gundam plastic model kits could be scanned in and used as an in-game MMO? Basically, what if Gundams were amiibos that worked? That's basically what this show is. What if Gundams were amiibos? Well, that and the other show, but I don't want to, I'm not giving that show any praise at all. I hate that show so much. What if Gundams were built, were amiibos, and you could scan them in and use them as player characters, and on top of that, what if you could dive into VR MMO SAO style? Is SAO still cool? No? Oh, I'm into SAO. It's not cool anymore. I still kind of like SAO. Season 3 was pretty good. But that's what the show is at first when you first get into the show. On the surface, you're perfect thinking, that's not going to be fun. There's not going to be no stakes. There's not going to be no character drama. No character drama. Oh my boy, you are so wrong. The show is awesome. We also have these things in the show called L Divers, which honestly that was actually introduced in Build Divers, but I really don't want to give that show any praise at all. Riku is a terrible main character, but in this show, Hiro, the main character, is pretty stoic. You know, he's like the Mikazuki archetype, but he hasn't killed anyone yet. Yet. Anyway, we also have a really lovable character, Katsumi, awesome. Parv, awesome, and May, which I see you artists out there. May will be on the waifu tier list. Oh, don't you worry about that, my brother. She will be on the tier list. And honestly, Heroes Gundam, the core Gundam, is amazing. Also, Katsumi looks up to a guy called Captain Zeon, who pilots a new Sazabi fusion, which technically there already is a new Sazabi Suza in Stein in the Shinonju Stein, but we don't talk about that, okay? Shut up. Let me tell you this, okay? Jesus Christ. Which is all pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And the OST, the first song is awesome. So first season's pretty good. You probably think, oh, it's gonna be a lighthearted Gundam show with no consequences, nothing bad's gonna happen, until it does, and then it does happen, and then, it was perfect. It was, oh my God, it was perfect. Build Divers Re-Rise was perfect. Because Build Divers Re-Rise was so perfect, I'm going to put it in the B tier with IBO Season 1. It was perfect. Season 1 was perfect. Down to my every minute detail. My God. It was perfect. Yes, someone's going to say, furry MMO Gundam got the B tier. Yes, furry MMO Gundam got the B tier. Don't at me. It was perfect. It was perfect. Where is it? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing next. We have like 50 series. I don't even know what I'm doing next. I'm gonna get the short ones out the way. Let's get the short ones out of the way. This is Mobile Suit Gundam Astray. This is a Seed show, which Seed is the Cosmic Era. If you don't know, I really should talk about the main series before the sub-series, but I'm not doing that because it's funnier this way. Because it's funnier and I get more confused that way. The more confused I am, the more I start rambling, which is funny. So, Mobile Suit Gundam Astray is a series that is set in between Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. This basically follows this dude who's part of the Junkyard Guild, and he basically steals a bunch of Astray Gundams, and he builds his own Gundam, and it's like short, and it's really cool. It's like 3 episodes. You should watch it. It's fun. It's like 3 episodes. You should watch it. It's fun. Wish we had more Astray Gundams. Probably like, what's an Astray? I'll explain what an Astray is when we get to see it. Just do not worry about this. I will help you. You don't worry about it. We'll talk about it when we get there. But I think this little short miniseries is awesome. The main character from the series is open. That's my land drop. My land drop tried to open. It's a short little miniseries. It's really fun. Honestly, the Astray Gundam is pretty cool, and it's a really fun show. Like, if you haven't seen it, well, I mean, if you haven't seen Seed, you probably need to watch. Well, you don't actually have to watch Seed. Honestly, if you don't like Seed, which some people don't like Seed. I love Seed. I love Seed. Spoiler alert, I love Seed. You should watch it. So I'm gonna give this show the C tier because I wish the only con of the show is I wish it had more episodes. But the manga is pretty decent. You should read the manga. Please read the manga. Please? For me? No? Okay. Oh, this is awkward. Anyway. Next. The GOAT. The GOAT of Gundam. The Gundam show that I watched before watching Gundam. The boy, the man, the myth, the mention. Superior Defender Gundam Force. Superior Defender Gundam Force. Yeah, I told you it's out here. I told you every Gundam series has to be here. I love Superior Defender Gundam Force. Superior Defender Gundam Force is what if SD Gundam took itself seriously. That's basically what the show is, in a sense, but also not. So basically, Superior Defender Gundam Force is basically, it was like a 25th anniversary, 20-something anniversary show where they decided, okay, we're going to make SD Gundams human-sized, and they're just going to troll around and have adventures when they fight the Zaku armies. The Nightmare Army. What was that team? What was that evil army called? I swear, I kind of want to look it up, but I don't. Editing Shine will do it. He has to do all his work anyway. I'm making it hard for myself. This is going to be fun. Is it going to be fun? Right, Editing Shine? What do you mean, no? Oh, well. Superior Defender Gundam Force, to me, it's a good show. People downplay it because people hate SD Gundam, which, I mean, I understand why you hate SD Gundam. It's a fun show. Honestly, the Captain Gundam is Captain, which is obviously he's an embodiment of the RX-78, and we love him. This samurai jerkwad is pretty cool. And we got Zero, which obviously is just Wing Zero, a night version. Nightwing Zero, which is awesome. And, you know, the show is just wacky adventures until the ending where Captain gets beat up a bit, and then he gets upgraded with New Captain Gundam, which he's not actually called New Captain Gundam. He's just going to call, I don't know what they call his updated version. It was good. Also, the show in Japanese was sung by Papayama Yumi, which, if you know Papayama Yumi, solid. Honestly, I have watched this show 2 times, and I loved it. You know, I love SD Gundam. I'm not afraid to say that. People are going to crucify me for saying it. I love SD Gundam. I love Superior Defender Gundam Force. To the point where I don't keep saying it. Honestly, it's what got me. Honestly, that's what got me in the Gunpla. Going to a Target, going to a Big Lots, if you know what that is, and having found a half-opened, yes, it was half-open, half-unopened Gundam model kit and tried to put it together. It was very difficult because there were no instructions and the parts were halfway gone. But you know what? Young Shine enjoyed every moment of it, and now to this day I still build Gundams to this day. Honestly, the latest thing I built was the Macross, so it's the Macross model kits. Next, I'm gonna build my Gundam VR. I probably got one of those, and then the Gundam X. Solid. Superior Defender Gundam Force. Solid show. Let's give it that boy. Give your boy the I'm gonna give my boy the B tier. I love it. That show is not good. That's like, I know it's not good, but I love it. In my heart, I love it, and I'm gonna continue to say I love it. So shut it. It's my list. Shut up, boys. It's my list. Next. Doo-doo. Now, I technically have not seen Yo Gundam-san, so I will put that currently watching because I have not seen Gundam-san. I've seen the memes from that show, but I haven't seen that show. But they're funny. It's a wacky take on Gundam. If you have not seen Yo Gundam-san, I mean, that's what it's called. Watch it. It's funny. Or if you've seen it, go to YouTube, look up the clips. They're funny. The clips are hilarious. I haven't fully seen the show, but I've seen the clips, and it's funny. It's just hilarious. It's just a fun time. Just watch it. Next, Ring of Gundam. Now, Ring of Gundam is Ring of Gundam is basically a 25th. I think it was a 25th or 28th anniversary thing that Tomino made. And it doesn't make any sense. It makes sense if you were told the context behind the show, but no one was told the context behind the show. So it's just, the short. It's a short. You can watch it on YouTube. There's not really much to glean from it. It's just there. It's not terrible. It's well animated. It is beautifully animated with that nice CGI. Honestly, it's like they took the CGI from Gundam. What is it? From Gundam Evolution, but then they refined it more. The character models are cool, but I really wish I knew what the story was. Honestly, I've been told the message of the short is just to simply let go. So instead of actually trying to glean a meaning from it, just let it go, and we're gonna put it in the C tier. It's really well animated. It's fun to watch. Just turn your brain off, watch it. Some of these things you just need to turn your brain off and watch, and don't say anything. Don't say anything. Ring of Gundam. C tier, my boys. Woo, Ring of Gundam. Next. Mobile Suit Gundam, the 40th anniversary special. Mobile Suit Gundam, the 40th anniversary special was the title itself. It's basically an alternate take of the original UC where Amuro is on a space colony and it has the 40th anniversary Gundam, this thing. Yeah, that thing. And it's just a short. It's not canon to really anything. It's just a what-if Gundam one-off little special. It's fun. There's no point to it. There's no lore to it. You just watch it. It's good. It's clean. That's what all it has to be. I love it. 40. I also get C tier. My boy. Next. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Breaker Battle Log. Okay. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Breaker Battle Log is just basically another one of those Gundam tour commercials. It's like Beginning G, but Obari is on it. The man who draws really good robots. He worked on it. It was really fun. There is no point. There's no point to the show. It's just basically, hey, the characters from the Gundam mobile video game, well, they and the other girl from the other mobile Gundam Breaker video game, they're just basically here having a fun time in a fighting contest, in a fighting arena like GBN, and there's no point. It's just fun. The ending song is awesome. Yeah, the ending song is actually out of this world. If you heard that song, you love it. You love to see it. There's no point to this. I love the show. I love it. It's a fun story. Honestly, the story is absolutely garbage, but don't worry about it. You don't watch this for the story. You watch it for the fights. You watch it for Obori's animation. That's what you do here. You don't think about these things, okay? Because if you think about it, your brain's gonna start hurting. Don't think about these things. Anyway. Having fun. I love this show. I thought the storyline kind of sucks. It's basically the ultimate IBO LARPer goes too far and tries to ruin fun for everybody else. That is basically the story. I am not kidding. That is the story. And if you don't think that's the story, it is basically the ultimate IBO fan. Honestly, the show knows how bad IBO fans is to the point where they're like, what if we make our villain the ultimate IBO LARPer and he just goes around and trying to ruin the fun for everybody else? That is basically what this story is. You cannot tell me that's not the story. I dare you to come in the comment section and tell me, and I will be like, that's literally the story. In a sense, in a simplified and ultimately in a non-spoiler way, that is the story. That is the story, and you cannot tell me I'm wrong. The end. So, Build Breaker Battle Log, it just turn your brain off. C tier. I don't know what this is, so I'll put it on currently watching. Oh, frick. Okay. Alright, guys, the first F tier of the day. Mobile Suit Gundam Twilight Axis. Now, the book I've heard is probably better, but guess what? Come closer. The book was never translated into English officially. So basically, Sunrise decided to themselves, we're gonna make this book into an animated short with no context from the book. So unless you read the book, you have no idea what's going on. Does that sound like a recipe for a disaster to anime? Yes, it does, because you haven't read the book. So you don't know what's going on. Honestly, I don't think anyone actually legitimately knows what's going on in this show because the book was never translated. How would you watch something when the book is never translated? Can you tell I'm a little upset? Honestly, the premise of it is really interesting, but you don't know what the premise would be interesting if you knew what the premise was. Because apparently it's set in between Unicorn and Counterattack, so there's some interesting plot going along here with Titans and the Nuga and the Sazabi and things of that nature, but guess what? Just like Moon Gundam, it was never animated. it doesn't have time to shine. Also, Sunrise, please, Moon Gundam anime. Dude, Moon Gundam would be awesome. Come on, guys. Come on, Moon Gundam. Moon Gundam anime would be awesome. Tell me it wouldn't be awesome. Come on, I dare someone in the comment section to tell me Moon Gundam anime wouldn't be awesome. So, Twilight Axis, I'm gonna have to give it the F tier because it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense because you don't have the context. You don't have the context, so you wouldn't know what's going on. It doesn't make sense. F tier. Can't watch this because I can't rank it because I didn't watch the 3 Nights anime because I don't really. I'm not. Spoiler alerts. I'm not a really big fan of the Romance of the Third Kingdom, so I haven't watched them. That's the only reason I haven't watched the Son Goku Gundam stuff. Honestly, I should just put all those in the currently watching because I have not. I'm gonna put all the Endless Igloos in there because I've seen parts of Endless Igloo and I like them, but I don't want to give it a bad opinion. So if I were to rank it, I'd give Endless Igloo at least a B because they're okay. But I don't really like the Son Goku. Then you can't make. Now I have seen some of the SD Gundam shorts and they're funny. They're also funny. They're really hilarious. I've seen them on YouTube and I watched a couple episodes of them and I think they're funny. You know, it's just poking fun at Gundam. That's what they're made for. You know, people didn't really like this. Some people, they were made because people were really upset with the serious tone of Gundam. So some were like, hey, what if we make a jokey Gundam? And that's basically what they are. It's like the ancestor to Yo Gundam Son, and it's great. I think they're all C tier. They're fun. They're okay. There's nothing really wrong with them. They're okay. Next. Oh, there's no Son Goku again. I didn't watch any Son Goku. Next. Okay, let's see. What can we do? I'm trying to get all the Gundam shorts out the way so before we get into the real meat and potatoes. Okay, I think we're. Oh, you automatically go to F tier. Build Divers automatically F tier. Second F tier of the day, guys. Woo. Only positive is 00 Skies and L Divers are cool. Welcome to the Shine Zero not sponsor segment. If I had a sponsor, it would go right there, but we don't have a sponsor. This is a joke that I had to put in the video because this video is not sponsored by anyone. This video is sponsored by your support. Thank you for the support on this video. You're probably like, oh my god, Shai has an ad read? No, I wish we had an ad read. No, this video is not sponsored by anything. I just wanted to put an ad spot in here just to be funny because this video is long. I love trolling people. Okay, let me have my fun. This ad spot is not brought to you by anybody. I love this. This is fun. Okay, now that the ad spot's over. Alright, let's get into gear. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes. It's Gundam time, boys. Let's do this. Alright, where are you? We're gonna do original Gundam. Original Mobile Suit Gundam. The granddaddy. The real deal. Now, this is where Gundam originated. This is the origin point. Gundam 0079, where the main character is Amuro Ray and everything is groovy. It's the 70s. Everything is groovy. Char Aznavour's out here trying to take down White Base because his honor and stuff and things are great. But obviously, I'm not spoiling a 50-year-old show, 70-year-old show because I don't want to do that to y'all. But for what it is, the original show, people would say, but nowadays the animation is dated. Which, wow, that's a very nuclear take. I think the animation has held up pretty well for its time. You know, yes, it's from the 70s. Yes, it's an old show, and that's what Gundam is. Gundam is an old story that is still relevant to this day, and that's what makes Gundam so timeless. This is the reason we keep going back to 0079 because the stories are timeless. Like the art style may be old, quote unquote, but the stories are timeless. You know, Amuro Ray, Char Aznavour, the Zeon, the assault of Zeon, and the Federation, those things are timeless story tropes that can be used and have been reused throughout all of Gundam. Gundam 0079 is an important show. Got the original Gundam, you got the Mobile Suit, you got the War, you got Zeon, you got Char. Char is an important character. There's a reason that he has a whole archetype of characters behind him. Char is the man's man. He is the real deal. He is the real deal McCoy. Heck, I am a Char clone, technically speaking, but I'm not evil. I'm more of a Harry clone, if I'm being honest, but technically I'm a Harry clone, technically. The visored sunglasses characters. That came from this man. This man is, my aesthetic comes from this man. So, 0079 is awesome. The OST, phenomenal. The characters, phenomenal. The opening, Fly Gundam, great. Mobile suits from the Zaku all the way down to the Zigok, amazing. The storyline, amazing. There's a reason we keep coming back to the setting. There's a reason there's so many different mangas based around this original story, and it's great. It's great. People say it's old. People say it's timeless. People say it's all the things in between. But I have to say, put some respect on this man's name. I gotta give my man the S tier. Well, actually, I gotta give my man the A tier. Sorry. There is something that goes above original classic Gundam in my head, and y'all are not gonna be surprised what that is, but it is a good show. It's a show that introduces the things people hate, but I love new types. New types are amazing. I love new types; they're awesome. It also introduced the tragedy, and it actually would spark the conflict that would resonate throughout the rest of the franchise. That still resonate right now through the points of Gundam where we are right now. The Federation Zeon, who cannot learn to get their crap together, and humanity's dumbness. That's just phenomenal. Just great. People are like, Shine, you can't get that. Obviously, it doesn't matter how you experience it. You can watch the show or the movies. Either way is valid. I prefer the show because the movies are long. Like, the only way you're going to get me to watch the original Gundam movies is you have to strap me to tie me down to a chair and make me sit there with my eyes taped open. I am not watching the movie. I will watch the show instead. Even though the movies have better animation, technically speaking, and don't have the G-Defensor, but I love the G-Defensor, even though it's not canon. I love the G-Defensor. It's not canon. I love it. You should also, shameless plug, watch the new C-79 Cool Robots tier list. Haha, shameless plug. I love my job here. I'm sorry. The man. If we did original Gundam, we gotta do its cool older brother. If Gundam is cool, if Gundam is the dude in high school, this is the cool older brother. Mobile Suit Zate Gundam. Where is Zate Gundam? I'll find it in a minute. Zate Gundam. Zate Gundam is the really cool, real deal, switching sides. Everything is not black and white, even though everything in the original show wasn't black and white. Gundam show. Zate Gundam is a show that took original Gundam and flipped it on its head and said, what if we make everyone shades of gray? This is where Gundam gets its shades of gray. Zate Gundam. Where the story gets more intense, characters get more things, mobile suits can transform now without combining, and just archetypes are out of control. Both songs from the first intro to second intro are amazing. Zate Gundam can transform. We got Platinum Shirako, the Jupiter Core. People are from Jupiter now. It's freaking awesome. The Federation, it has turned into a tyrannical government thanks to something that happened in a lesser Gundam show, which I'll get to that lesser Gundam show on this list. It's just wild. It is just, what if Gundam was edgier? In a sense, not edgier by today's standard, edgier by 1980 cents. By like 1980 cents of edgy, not today's sense of edgy. What if Gundam pushed the envelope? Again, by 1979 cents, not by today's sense. If we're talking about today's sense, Witcher Mercury would probably be too edgy. That's a spoiler for Witcher Mercury, my boys. Yeah, so what if Gundam was awesome? Was even awesomer than it was? Zate Gundam is amazing. Tomino took his storytelling from original Gundam and took it up to the 11. There's a reason that people think Zeta is dark, because Zeta is pretty dark. Again, not by today's standards, by 1979 standards. Again, I have to keep preferencing that because someone's going to get me in the comment section. But everything from Quattro, not Pagina, again, my other benefactor, my other, I get my aesthetic from that man too. You go from Quattro Pagina, Camille Bidan, Machinian, we got Fa Yuri, Bright Noah, and everyone you love for the first Gundam came back, and whoa, edgy. Amuro, super edgy because of what happened at the end of Gundam. Whoa, Char, super hardcore because he saw some stuff, man. Camille, he's, people just say he's angry, but honestly, his parents kind of suck. Let's be honest. Can we stop gaslighting Camille for a second? His parents suck. His parents are terrible. I kind of understand why Camille is the way he is, and by the end, my bro, depending on if you watch the new translation, he cannot catch a break. My man cannot catch it. Camille cannot catch a break. Honestly, this show, it was heartbreaking on a psychological level. Not on a, wow, look at all the guts and gore. It's like a, whoa, that's trippy. It's like, whoa. And heck, there's still things I'm learning about the show after the fact that I've watched the show. It's like a, whoa, that's, oh man. That's trippy. Like, it's not messed up on it's not messed up on a physical sense, it's messed up on a psychological. Like, the ending of Zeta is just like, wow, that is pretty soul crushing, ain't it? That's pretty sad. Zeta Gundam, boys. But your boy Zeta Gundam gets the A tier. Honestly, it's kind of funny that Zeta has such an upbeat intro on both intros. It's pretty upbeat, despite the fact the show is not upbeat. It's anything but upbeat. But Zeta Gundam, best Gundam. Dude, I love Zeta Gundam. Put her some respect on my boy Zeta. Next, let's go do Zeta Gundam's wacky brother. Let's do, since we did the cool brother, the edgy brother, and the wacky, now it's the wacky brother. Zable Zeta, the show that everyone tells you to skip, and if you tell people to skip this, I will get you. Zeta, double Zeta Gundam. is the amazing follow-up to Zate Gundam. Yes, you heard me. I said amazing. I said good. I said amazing. Double Zeta Gundam is a good show. If you have not seen Double Zeta because your friends told you not to watch Double Zeta, tell them your friends you're not your friends anymore. They're not your friends. Tell them you need to delete them from your contacts. You're not your friends anymore. If you someone who's told you not to watch Double Zeta, they're not your friends. They're your enemies. You need to new type punch them into space. You need to access drop them. You need to ram the Zeta Gundam into them. Shack them Shiraka style. Yeah, that's a spoiler right now. Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that, but it's too late. You need to tell them they're not your friends. Because Double Zeta, yes, the first half of Double Zeta is wacky. It's lighthearted. You know, we get Judo Asta, which is our new pro tag, Judo Asta and his ragtag group of Scooby-Doo and his gang. And it's a fun time, you know, it's fun. Until it's not, because halfway through the series, Zeta goes, hey, what if we were edgy? And then boom, it just goes. Now, because of stuff that happens at the end of Zeta Gundam, Titans are basically nowhere to be found. They're just gone at this point. They're just like, we're still kind of here, but we're not. Thanks to some Gundam Sentinel shenanigans, which is not on this list. Gundam Sentinel also needs to animate. That's not ever happening due to licensing. Stuff happens, and Haman is just like Haman Khan. You know, she's awesome. She's a character from Zeta. She basically takes over Zeon after what happened at the end of the original Gundam, and it just goes full force into fun times. You know, there's a girl named LP Pure. She gets cloned a couple of times. It's important that she gets cloned a couple of times, but you know, we had fun, and then we didn't have fun, and then we really didn't have fun, and then the ending, Double Zeta's ending. Ooh, Double Zeta's ending. Now, if you thought Zeta ending was pretty depressing, Double Zeta's ending was just like, oh, frick, that's even worse. All these people went through all this, and it was just, ooh. You thought Zeta Gundam's ending was bad. Double Zeta's ending, I mean, not bad, depressing, but Double Zeta's ending is just like, ooh. Even though the characters are happy, you know, even though the characters are happy in the end, but the conflict they went through was just. If you watch the show, you know it's just like, wow, all that did not have to happen, and yet it did. It didn't have to happen, but it did. It's one of those. It didn't have to happen. It was all for nothing. The end. It was all for nothing. They didn't have to do this. Still watch the show. It's really good. Double Zeta, my boys. Double Zeta, my boys. S tier. Let's go A tier. Double Zeta A tier, boys. Also, to this day, I still don't have a Double Zeta high grade, and I need to get one. They're just so expensive now. Gun prices are wild. Are y'all seeing these prices? God dang scalpers, man. I just got it after War X after getting a turn A and a Vidar. Yo, these Gundam prices are stupid, man. Gundam prices suck nowadays. God, man, these suck nowadays. Okay, now that we've done the cool the funny older brother, let's do the serious older brother. Actually, if I sing the song, I'm gonna get copyrighted. I don't want to get in trouble. The man, the myth, the legend, the magnum opus, Char's Counterattack. Now, before I talk about Char's Counterattack, I need to talk about a little bit. Go back to Double Zeta, since that's why I did this in order. Now, originally, Char, aka Quadruple Genus, aka not Char, was supposed to be in Double Zeta. Those plans got halted when Sunrise said, "Hey, Tomino, you want to make a movie?" And Tomino was like, scrapped whatever he was going to do for Double Zeta and said, okay, I'm going to do something else for Double Zeta, but I'm going to move on to this project I'm going to call Char's Counterattack. But it wasn't called Char's Counterattack at this point before he did it. It was called High Streamer. Before Tomino made Counterattack, he had another thing called High Streamer, which is the novelization, which is the original source of Counterattack. In this story, Amuro, now, something I didn't talk about happened in Zeta. In Zeta, Amuro met the best girl of all time, Belchatika, and he ended up going into a relationship with her. But for some reason, Sunrise thought we don't want Amuro to be a family man. That's kind of stupid. So we're gonna break that up. You know, Sunrise said, hey, we like your idea of High Streamer. Char's back, being himself, trying to take Earth over, trying to do stuff. That sounds like a great idea. But we would like it if you didn't make Amuro a family man. So we're just gonna take both chicas out and rip her out. She's not canon to their story anymore, guys. Do I sound bitter? Because I am. Can you tell that I sound bitter? Because I am. Because honestly, the original version of Char's Counterattack, High Streamer, was better than the movie. But if I say that, I will be crucified. So I'm gonna pretend like Char's Counterattack was perfect. Belter Tika's Children is better. Read that book better. It's better. So I don't actually hate Char's Attack. I like the movie. Char's Counterattack is a really fun movie. The plot of the movie is basically Char, after what happened at the end of Double Zeta, Zeta, has returned and is trying to make Earth. He's really disappointed that Earth hasn't reformed itself after the whole nonsense of the Titans and Neo Zeon after the end of Double Zeta. He's just like, you know what? This is stupid. I'm just gonna take matters in my own hands. I'm gonna drop asteroids on Earth and make people and forcibly make everyone become new types. Now that sounds like an awful idea because it was an awful idea, but this is Char. Char doesn't have to think things through. He is the man's man. He does not have to think things through. Silly people. He's a new type. We're old. Well, I'm not an old type, but y'all are old types. You're all old types. You gotta pay 40 just like Char was playing, even though that's kind of technically a front because he's technically not taking over Zeon because he has some grand ideas. He's just like, you know what? I'm mad at Amuro for taking out Lala, so a girl from original Gundam. Again, if you've seen all the series, if you've seen the whole thing, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, too bad I'm not giving you a full summary. He's like, I'm mad at Amuro, and I'm gonna make sure me and him have an ultimate final duel. So I'm gonna develop this thing called Saikamu. I'm gonna tell Amuro, hey, put this in your mobile suit, and we're gonna have a super awesome space battle until it goes horribly wrong, and the asteroid's gonna fall to Earth, and everyone on both sides realize, oh, frick, if this thing actually hits our planet, we are doomed. So everyone comes together at the last second and said, let us combine our power. Until it goes horribly wrong. And then Amuro's like, no guys, don't do that. Don't combine our power. This will not work. And then Axis Shock happens. And then the movie ends. I gave you the Cliff Notes version of Char's Counterattack. That is literally the Cliff Notes version of Char's Counterattack. I love this movie. I like the movie. Let's get it wrong. Let's get it wrong. This movie is great. It had a lot of standout moments. The Rigazee is a terrible thing. It is not the refined Double Zeta. Never call it that again. The Rigazee Custom now, that thing is the refined Double Zeta. That thing is the refined Zeta. Nah, that thing is. But Rigazee, no. Never call that thing the refined Gundam Zeta. That's awful. That is awful. Additions, Chan Augie. If you've seen the waifu tier list, you already know. I go over this every time when I talk about Chan Augie. So if you want my perspective on that, watch the Mobile Suit waifu tier list. Or don't, because I'll remake it and say it again. Overall, Char's Counterattack is a fun movie. It's Hideaki Anno's one of his debut as an animator. He was on this, creator Evangelion. Also went on to develop, directed a little short, never heard of OVA. It's called Gunbuster. Most people haven't heard of it. Yeah, things, but. That being said, Char's Counterattack is a decent movie. It's awesome. Beyond Time is one of the most standout soundtracks of all time. And yet my brain is still mad because what we could have had. We could have had Belter Chica's Children. We could have had High Streamer. Sunrise would have shut their mouth and let Tomono do what he wanted. God, Belter Chica's Children is better. Read Belter Chica's Children. The manga version of Belter Chica's Children. Please read it. I think that's better. I thought that version of events was better. Honestly, it made this one character Quest make so much more sense because in that version, her father is actually insane. Honestly, Belter Chica's Children makes so much more sense as a movie than the actual Counterattack, but hey, I'm not going to say that. So, Char's Counterattack, give your boy, I'll give it the C tier. Someone's going to get me for putting it in C. But again, that's because Belter Chica's Children exists. God, that version is so much better. Also, Belter Chica's Children, one thing, I'll stop hopping on this. Belter Chica's Children has High New Gundam and Nightingale, which no offense to Sazabi and New Gundam, but High New Gundam is better. But High New Gundam isn't that big, but Nightingale is massive. I love Gundam, okay? Leave me alone. Next, Aruno. Okay, we're making pretty good progress, guys. This is awesome. Next, Mobile Suit Gundam. We're gonna go in reverse order. Next order, Mobile Suit Gundam. War in a Pocket. Now, last time I talked War in a Pocket up, so if you remember that, what I said last time, I'll say it again. War in a Pocket is a fun Gundam show. Until it's not. It's fun until it's not. All the Gundam shows are fun until it's not. It's like, oh, this was fun, and then something bad happens. So basically, the point of this Gundam show is, basically the Federation, during the 1 Year War, Amuro was just outperforming everybody. His Gundam just could not keep up. He's just going around whooping everyone's tail, and the Gundam just could not keep up. So the Federation thought to himself, okay, we have this really powerful pilot. His name's Amuro. He's just basically whooping this Gundam's tail. We kind of need to develop a better mobile suit. But then Zeon gets wind of that. They're doing that. They're like, okay, we need to stop this thing. So this ragtag team of group tries to stop it from going into space. And then we have this awesome opening shot with the Gym Cold District type. My God, that thing is so cool. I actually bought that model because I do have a Gym Cold District type. I just bought it. I'm gonna build him. He's so cool. I like gyms. They're cool. Gyms are awesome. They have this awesome battle scene. The gym could horribly beat up, which made me sad as a gym fan. Poor Gym Cold District type. They didn't deserve that. You did. Fun fact: the Gym Cold District type would have been my first model kit of high grade if I would have bought that first. But the seller sold out, so I had to get a revived Gundam as my first Gundam model kit. I need to stop talking, but stuff happens, and then the team that was trying to stop this mysterious Gundam, this new Gundam for Amuro, ends up on a remote colony where it's going to be tested by a woman by the name of Chris McKenzie. This Char Counterattack group of Zeon people of this strike team are trying to stop this thing. The Zeon higher ups are like, hey guys, if you don't, get rid of this thing before Christmas, we're gonna nuke this colony. Yeah, that also should be mentioned. If we don't get rid of this Gundam off this colony, we're gonna nuke this colony. Which is kind of a problem because the regular civilians live here. Which one of the regular civilians, Alphonse, he thinks the Gundams are stupid. He thinks Gundams are dumb. He thinks the Federation sucks, and he thinks Zeon's awesome. So he just one day happens to buy in the park where this dude Bernie crashes his Zaku 2, I think he says. This was maybe a Zaku 2, maybe a Shadow Feature will correct it. And he ends up befriending the Zeon dude. But the Zeon dude at first it was like, oh no, he's gonna take the kid out. It's like, nah, we're gonna have this nice little buddy cop thing for a while. And he just basically falls in with this kid just really falls into the Zeon. He just falls into them. He's like, oh man, war is cool. War sucks. War is garbage. This kid thinks war is cool. War is awful. And he thinks the Zeons are awesome. They're not. Neither side sucks. They both suck. Federation and Zeon suck. But there's good people on both sides. Again, that's Gundam's theming. There's good people on both sides, which is funny when people try to say Gundam is anti-fascist. It's like, did you watch the shows, or are you just being stupid? Because I do see that sentiment from a lot of really stupid people in this community, who literally go on a grandstand saying Gundam is anti-fascist. It's like, did you watch the show? That's, I just feel like some people watch Gundam and they watch Gundam for the wrong reasons, and it's just like, what the frick is wrong with y'all? That being said, and in terms of this little, buddy cop, and then one day Alphonse gets this new neighbor. Hey, spoiler alert, she's the test pilot of the Gundam. She's Chris McKenzie. She's the test pilot of the Gundam. So but also the Zeon dude ends up falling in love with her. So we have a really funny issue here, where the two are going to have a a violent encounter at the end of the series. And that's not fun. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but you can use your imagination. Just know that the hamburgers are definitely involved. That's funny. I get with the hamburger joke. I find a way to stuck in the hamburger joke. But overall, as a series, it is standout. A lot of people say, Soletta is the first female Gundam pilot, which no, she's not. Honestly, we have to have this debate every time. Who's the first female Gundam pilot? Technically, you could say it was Sayla because she's the first one to ever pilot a Gundam. Then you could say it was technically Emma because she regularly piloted Gundam. Then you can say Ruroka because she pilots the Ruroka, which I didn't talk about my best girl from Zeta, Double Zeta. I really want to talk about Ruroka. Oh gosh, she's cool. Then you can say M because she also piloted a Gundam, because they piloted Gundams. Then you can say Fall because she piloted a Gundam for like 5 seconds. So, and then you can say Chris. So it really just goes into a long line of who really was the first female Gundam pilot. But then you go into the manga because you got Lacroix, you got her from this Gundam manga, and then it just goes into a game of who's the real first female Gundam pilot. And we don't really like to pick. I don't put stock in saying Soletta is the first. We don't put stock. You could say she's the first alternate universe Gundam pilot, which they would also be wrong. See how this game works. See how the game works. But that being said, we're not going to do that. But War in a Pocket, solid OVA. People like to watch it around Christmas because it technically is Gundam doesn't really have a Christmas special, so it's technically you can correctly watch this around Christmas if you want, but I don't know why you would watch this around Christmas. It's a fun show. It's like an 8-episode OVA. If you haven't seen, if you're on the fence about watching Gundam and you don't want to know what Gundam is about, watch this show. You'll definitely get appreciated. To this day, I still don't have NT1, and Bandai needs to put out a new NT1. I hope after they're done with the wing kits, we get a new high grade NT1. Waiting for it, guys. Jesus, I need it. Anyway, War in a Pocket. Let's give your boy the A tier. I love War in a Pocket. Dun, 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 dun. War in a Pocket, boys. Next. This is fun. We're having fun. Next, buddies. We're gonna do the next one. Who is next? Who is next? We're gonna get that one out the way. We're gonna do Mobile Suit Gundam, the 8th MS team. Still in the Universal Century, 8th MS team is set during the 1 year war period, which we're still back in the 1 year war. A lot of Gundam shows are still in the 1 year war. 8th MS team is a Gundam series that is set in the 1 year war period. I think I just repeated myself on accident. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Where basically we have this dude. He's named Shiro Model, right? This man he's transferring from somewhere. I'm not really sure what colony he's from, but he's transferring to Earth to take part in the war during the 1 year war. And basically, my neck. Sorry, I didn't even do that. And basically, he goes down to Earth on his first debut mission. His ship is attacked by a Zeon, by a Zaku. I think it was Zaku or Zaku. I think it's a Zaku or Zaku 1. I'm not sure what it was. I forgot what it was. And this man had the guts to go out in this ball, and what was called the ball. Now the ball is terrible. These things are awful. They are like flying. They're called flying coffins for a reason. Like this man should have been dead, but this man had top tier piloting skill. This man took out a Zaku in a ball. Zaku 2, I think it's Zaku 2 or Zaku 1 in the ball. Which Zaku 1s have their own issues because there's a lot of mechanical issues with Zaku 1s. Again, I'm a Gundam nerd. Please indulge my Gundam nerdity for 5 minutes. Zaku 1s basically are also flying coffins because they're reactor cores. Most of those things reactor cores suck. I don't think it was a Zaku 1. I think it was a Zaku 2. I don't know if it was Zaku 1 or 2. But I just want to talk about Zaku 1 because Zaku 1s are kind of flying coffins. Those things are kind of flying coffins. You know, most people. Hey, I think there's literally a whole storyline in MS Igloo where one dude died because of the Zaku 1. Yes, I've seen MS Igloo. Shut up. Anyway, that being said, I need to get back on point. So basically, the series is basically, okay, we're going to go check out this little guerrilla-style area. You know, we have this little small area of Zeon Rarities that we need y'all to check out. So he goes down there with his squad. He's put in charge of this group of mass-produced Gundams called the Ground Gundam. Ground Gundams are Gundams. For all intents and purposes, people keep saying, Ground Gundams are not Gundams. They are Gundams. They are made with Gundam, lunar titanium. They are Gundams. It's just that their inner core area where the pilot is, that is made of lunar titanium. Everything else is not. So they're Gundams. So everyone who says Gundams are not Gundams, they are Gundams. Please stop saying they're not Gundams. They are Gundams. I already looked it up. I literally went. Here's the Wikipedia article. Here's the Gunpedia article. They are Gundams. Like right there, it says it. So people stop saying it. So basically, it goes like this for a while. He ends up meeting this girl Kiki, and they basically end up coming into alliance with them. And it basically the series goes like this for a while until I want to say around episode 5, I think it is. Shiro crash lands this girl's other student. This girl and Zero and Shiro fight. They're in she's the sister of a scientist who's working on a really big secret mobile suit. We don't need to talk about that. That's not important right now. And they end up, first they fight. They're trying to kill each other, but then both their suits crash land and fail. But then the two were like, oh man, we're crash landed. We're kind of stuck in here. So then I guess we need to, try to survive together. Common humanity. What's that? Enemies can become common humanity? Wow, I didn't think that could happen. People are like, that's unrealistic. Shut up. This is kind of doesn't have to be realistic. And the two ended up, they end up having, I'd say, getting along with each other for a bit. And then they end up having a bathtub scene. I mean, a hot spring scene. Hot spring scene. That's a throwback to an older video if you know what I'm talking about. And then the two, and no, nothing lewd happens. It's just hot spring scene, okay? And then nothing. Get your mind out the gutter. But there is a hentai about somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you what. Rule 34 is your friend. Her name is Aina. If you want to know the girl's name, her name is Aina. There's Rule 34 for those who need that. Thanks. But pause the video and come back to this, please. And then and then things go there. You know, she gets rescued, and then Shiro gets rescued by Steven, and then stuff goes back, and then he just starts to be, you know, then Shiro starts thinking to himself, you know what, Federation kind of sucks. It's kind of trash. I gotta go do stuff. You know, stuff happens, and then the ending happens where Shiro is put on a court martial for something he did. He did something. I forgot what he did, and he ends up trying to, you know, the Federation end up trying to throw the book at him. But they're like, you know what? Which, you know, spoilers, Federation kind of sucks. They like throwing the books at people. And then the final conflict happens, which I forgot how that goes. It's been so long. I haven't seen that show since 2018. It's 2020. It's 23, so it's been a long while since I've seen HMS. And then her brother ends up being psycho. You know, the girl, Aina, her brother is a psychopath. You know, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take everyone out. Whoa, ho, ho, I'm evil. And he ends up, you know, flying in this giant ball. And the final conflict comes down to her and Shiro try to take him out. And that's basically, and then at the end, they disappear up until the last episode, which I don't want to spoil the last episode from the series. It's great. The ending is great. Don't read the novel, dude. Anthem S's novel is so bad. Like, it's not bad as in it's terribly written. It's bad as in, oh my god, that girl Kiki. Ooh, yeah, Anthem S's novelizations. Don't read it. So, that's it for now. Let's take a quick intermission break, and then we will be back for. We will be back with a quick intermission. Here we go. We're back at it again, doing it again. The ad read. Yeah, once again, if we had an ad read, if we had one of those, it'd go right there. Once again, thank you for the support on this video. If we had an ad read, it would go right there. I'm only doing these so I have a break because I'm using this time to drink, to take a water break. I needed to take a break so my brain can think about things. Ad read over. Okay, we're back after that funny intermission. We are here and dear doing it again. We're here. Sorry. Alright, next. Mobile Suit Gundam. Cucuruz Duns Island. Now, for everyone who said UC 0079, well, actually, before I do that, let me go and get the other thing out of the way. Mobile Suit Gundam, the origin. Now, the reason we're doing Gundam Origin before Cucuruz Duns Island is because technically Gundam the Origin and Cucuruz Duns Islands are kind of connected to each other, so I need to do that one first. Gundam the Origin was basically what happened before it's a sort of technically alternate universe, what if take, what happened before the 1 Year War? We all know the 1 Year War, the big conflict, Federation versus Zeon, but what happened before that? How did Char get his upgrade? How did Amuro live his life? How did everything go out of control? How did Salem Mass and Caswell, aka Char, live? That is Gundam, the origin, the beginning. And basically, it starts out pretty well. You know, Caswell is the son of, you know, Caswell Rin Daikun, aka the son of Daikun, the famous philosopher, the one that theorized there's a special space human called new types, and that the Federation should acknowledge them. The Federation was like, lol, JK, no. And Zeon was like, y'all should probably, y'all probably should, recognize this. Also, can we have space autonomy? Federation was like, lol, JK, no. And that's basically how it worked. Also, the assassination of Daikun, which people think it was the Federation who did it, which it wasn't. It was the Zombies who did it. Zombies did it. Once again, the Zombies did it. His own freaking former second in command freaking did it. This fat jerkwad did it. He freaking did it. I know he did it. I think he did it. I'm pretty sure he did it. And it basically goes from that. So this is the part where Casserole and Sayla, they're trying to like, okay, stuff is going wrong. We gotta get them out of here. So Sayla contacts Ramba Raw. Oh, not Sayla. Someone contacts Ramba Raw. Ramba Raw's like, okay, I'm gonna help get these kids out of here and this dude's out of here. And then an awesome tank battle scene happens and stuff happens and it's awesome. And also we see how young Char is kind of crazy, but we kind of knew he was crazy. But nonetheless, here it is. There he is. And then we have a lot of stuff, it's just young Char. It basically is, how did the war start? How did mobile suits get developed? How did everything kick off? And it actually is a really interesting piece that I would tell you to watch, but after you've seen Gundam. Now, I see a lot of people saying you should watch Origin first. No, you will get no appreciation out of watching Origin first. You need to watch original Gundam and everything else first, and then watch Origin. You get far more appreciation out of the series. It's like watching the pre-rolls before watching, episode 4. It's like, you could do that, but you probably shouldn't. You could do it that way. You could watch it that way, but then you don't get the fun of knowing, oh, that's so-and-so. I already know everything about them, but this is how that happened. Oh, that's so interesting. Now, instead of, oh, I'm new to Gundam. Oh, this Char guy seems pretty cool. I hope he turns out pretty nice. It's like, don't tell people to watch Origin first. Do it the other way around. You will get more appreciation out of Origin if you watch the other way around. I'm telling you from first-hand experience, you should watch it the other way around. So, also I should mention, this is the TV cut of Origin, which Origin was released out of 4 movies, so you can watch either version, the 4-movie cut or the TV cut. Either way is fine. Although the 2019 TV cut has a special intro with Me on the Time, which looks groovy. Just saying. Stuff you should know. So, Gundam the Origin, give your boy the A tier. Although one thing I dislike about Origin is the whole how Char becomes Char. Oh, Char Soul's named by another guy named Char Aznavour. I hate that. Char Aznavour should be Char. I don't respect that. That's the one thing about Origin I don't respect. Char is Char, not that other guy. I don't respect it. I'm not putting respect on that. Sorry. Next. Now that I've done Origin, Cucuruz Duns Island. Now, Cucuruz Duns Island is what if we took an old episode of Gundam and remade it in the modern era with modern technology. And boy, this makes everyone and their mom want to a brand new remake of Gundam. Because geez, Cucuruz Duns Island is a treat. It is a fantastic movie. If you have not seen Cucuruz Duns Island, I've seen the movie. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I want to buy the movie. It was beautiful, dude. It is the original Kunio Akawada art style. You got the whole. Obviously, Tomono didn't work on this because Tomono was too busy working on the the G-Reco movies. Which, watch the G-Reco movies, please. And it's, oh my god, it was perfect. It was perfect, down to every minute detail. It's just so good. It makes. I wasn't on the team, we need a new Gundam remake, but after watching this movie, oh my god, the movie was so awesome. Jesus, it was great. It was perfect. It basically is. Basically, the movie is, like I said, it's a remake of an old episode that was banned. That Tomono was like, I don't really like this episode. We're not going to show it on broadcast ever. So they remade it, and the story is awesome. The story is basically about Doan. He is an ex-Zeon who decided to defect from Zeon. It's because he saw a lighthouse full of kids. He wanted to help these kids, these war orphans, and he just took them in and taught them ways, and they live on this last house. And basically, Amuro, during the assault, ends up mistaking him for the Zeon that he's supposed to fight, and he ends up crash landing, and the Gundam falls off a cliff, and stuff ensues. I don't want to spoil anything else because the movie is that good. Please watch the Cucuruz Duns Island. I don't care how you watch it, just watch the movie. It's good. It's the ending pays off really well. The storyline paid off very well. It's just like, man, can we do more movies like this? Unfortunately, the guy who's in charge of Gundam Origin, the one who did all the work, he's not. This was his last film. He's not. Like, he doesn't want to do anything else. Like, I don't know if they can convince him, hey, come back and do more. So if someone else does the remake of Gundam, it's not going to be done by the original staff. He's too busy doing something else. I don't know. He's done. That was his last anime movie, and it's like, for his last movie, it was phenomenal. It was perfect. It's perfect. Without exception. Perfect. It's S tier. Cucuruz Duns Island is S tier. It's perfect. S tier. S tier. Cucuruz Duns Island. S tier. My god. Next. God, I love that movie. It was so good. It was so good. Next. We're gonna do. Oh wait, frick. Where the heck did I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I didn't give Athemus a rank. Athemus is A tier. I don't know why that didn't happen. Athemus was supposed to be an A tier. I'm pretty sure I just noticed that 8th event was supposed to be an A tier. I don't know why I didn't put 8 in A tier. I'm sorry. Next, we're going to do the sequel to Char Counterattack, Gundam Unicorn. Yes, I probably should not have sang that because I'm gonna get copyrighted for that, for trying to sing the unicorn theme. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. Technically, Gundam Unicorn is the second full Gundam series I watched, even though I wasn't supposed to watch Unicorn. I listened to someone who I should not have listened to and skipped ahead and watched Unicorn, and guess what? I was very confused. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, stop telling people to watch things ahead when you shouldn't. I was very confused, and then I loved it. Even though I was confused, I loved it. I didn't understand what new types were at the time. I didn't again at the time I only watched at the time when I watched Gundam Unicorn. Only Gundam show I saw were 00, G, and IBO. So I didn't watch the original 79 at that point. So someone told me to watch Unicorn. I loved it, even though I was very confused. I didn't know what new types were. I didn't know what Psychomus were. I didn't know what any of this was, and I still love the show. Now this is double. Now we're obviously doing the TV cut, which, well, that image is from the original special, but the TV cut I watched re-0079 because that was what was available. Because I didn't have Hulu, I had YouTube, so that was what was available, and that's what I watched. The TV cut, which I love the TV cut because this guy's awesome. The story is really cool. This is like 3-4 years after Counterattack. Zeon has basically just poof. I don't know what Zeon with. And the new faction that's grown up called the Sleeves. But there's so much more minute background details about Unicorn that I know now that I really want to talk about now, but I don't have time to talk about now because everyone does. I don't have time for that because we'll be here for 5 hours. So much interesting, intricate things about the Unicorn Gundams itself and where they came from, what they actually are. It's just so cool. So much awesome. So basically, the plot of the story is everyone is after this thing called Laplace's box. The Unicorn is the key to find him. Benager Lynx is the son of the benefactor Cardi's Fist. His job is to be the pilot of the Unicorn, and he is to find Laplace's box. And Laplace's box is kind of a big deal about the Federation. Something I said in Origins that the Federation did not want technology. Like, haha, law JK, it never happened. The Federation wants to go law JK, it never happened. Because the thing about Laplace's box is it technically could destroy the Federation. It could destroy them because it's something that they should have done. That they were supposed to recognize, but they didn't want to recognize. And the original benefactors of the UC era already knew it would happen. It wasn't just Rim Daikun who knew it. And it was already signed into... What was so important about it was that it was already signed into law. It was into law. You'll find out what that is at the end of the series. But the series is great. You know, you got the Pure clone. You remember I talked about those Pure clones? The girl Elfie Pure, you know, her clone? Yeah, she came back. She's in this now, you know, it's pretty cool. One of her clones. One of her mini clones after what happened at the end of Double Zeta. Stuff happened. And, you know, it's a really heartwarming show. You know, Unicorn gets a bad rep nowadays because of the ending. People don't like the ending. People really hate Unicorns. They hate it. They think it's the worst thing since sliced bread, which I don't think it's that bad. I think after knowing the full context of Unicorn, knowing the full context of Gundam, I don't think the ending is that bad. I like Unicorn. Unicorn is still one of my top favorite Gundam shows. It's not in my top. It's still my top 5, but it's not my top 3s. But it's in my top 5. It's probably number 5. It's probably number 4 or 5. Let's be perfectly clear. But I love the show. Unicorn, or movie, or OVA, or however you watched it. Either way, it's fine. Most people say you should watch the OVAs because they're better paced. But I like the show because I like to watch the show. Okay, you can't make me watch. I like watching anime, not anime movies. Okay, you can't make me. Obviously, the Unicorn theme is awesome. All the unicorns. Yes, that many. Yes, that many are awesome. And I like Unicorn. You know, it's a good show. OST is great. Characters are great. Vinage is one of my favorite characters. Every legacy character is great. It's fun. Too bad this is right before Char, before Hathaway. You know, right now it seems like he's in good health right before Hathaway. Oh no, Hathaway splash. Yeah, fun times. We have fun here in Gundam. But Unicorn Gundam, or Gundam UC or Unicorn, wherever how you say it, give your boy the S tier. And I think we are almost finally done with the UC line, but we're not. We still have like 3 more UC shows. A couple more UC shows. Nexaruni. We're gonna take a detour and we're gonna do the build series. Now let's do the product placement that could, the product placement, the show that should not work. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Divers. Now Gundam Build Divers as a show, on paper, if you ask any other people who like the show, they would tell you this concept should not work. This show is a blatant, in-your-face toy commercial, and that's what makes it amazing. Gundam Build Diver is a celebration of all things Gundam, from its references to its characters to its lore. It literally gives alternate ending takes of certain characters and other Gundam media who had really raw deals, whose life were terrible. It gives them a really solid and amazing alternate life. Like Gundam Build Divers, it's like an alternate universe. Build Universe is alternate. To me, it feels like an alternate, super immaculate alternate universe for your favorite characters who did not get a good deal in life. And it is that. But it's not just that. It's not just that. It has amazing custom mixed build mobile suits, custom references, super amazing fight scenes. Just, it was perfect. I'm sorry, you're gonna be trying to stop using the boys meme, but it was. It is an amazing show. You know, the OST from Build Divers battle themes to everything. The intros are great. The character Reiji and Saviour are great. My man Sei is a fan of the Seed cosmic era. Reiji is not really a fan of really any Gundam. He's just like, hey, I'm here for fun. I'm here to fight for fun. That's honestly, this is the show that people really want to get a sequel, but for some reason, it's like sequel. We didn't plan a sequel. We just thought this was. We thought we were gonna make a thing. This is our last effort. Like they put their effort into it because they thought, oh, we're not gonna be able to make something else. And then they were greenlighted to make something else. And they're like, oh, we didn't think that far ahead. And then they made your homie Gundam Build Diver, Build Fighters, which I like Build Fighters. Also, Fumina is best girl. Sean, you can't say that. I can say whatever I want. It's my tier list. It's my tier list. I'm in charge. But original Build Diver Fighters, solid A, dude. You think I was gonna put that in B? Like people were like, Shine, stop putting everything in A. There's so many good Gundam shows. I'm gonna keep putting it in A. Oh, dude, Build Divers, Build Fighters, awesome. It was perfect. It was perfect. I don't have to keep saying it was perfect, but not as perfect as it could be, because it didn't get a sequel. It needed a sequel. Check out a sequel, but it did get a sequel. Gundam Build Fighters. Gundam Build Fighters is the sequel. Now, in the original show, the battles were 1v1. In this show, the battles are now switched to team fights. So teams of 3 will compete in in the Gundam Grand Prix contest, and it's actually really fun. You know, instead of doing just traditional beam weapon sword war, mixed martial arts have come into play thanks to Saviour. Saviour has this Jigenhao Kimpo style of fighting, which he learned from a certain character from another show that I will not spoil until we get to that part. And it's pretty awesome. Like, the show is standout. Like, there were some truly Sakuga moments. If you don't know what Sakuga means, then it's just beautiful moments. Like, there's some beautiful scenes. There's a thing called Sakuga Bu, which is like it's like Yao Bull and Dan Bull, and you can see all kind of scenes. I implore you to go look at the scenes. They're amazing. It's amazing, dude. A lot of the fights are awesome. Storyline is just pretty. The storyline is your Saturday morning. Hey, it is Gundam. We're going to fun competitions, and that's it. The storyline is not important. Even though the storyline is pretty decent. There's a lot of really standout moments. Sekai and Fumita. Fumita, originally, she started by herself, and she got beat really bad. But then Sekai and China's brother, which I didn't know she had a brother. Her brother sucks. He kind of lame. He's kind of like hot garbage, but he likes it. I don't think he likes Fumita. I don't know who he likes. I'm not sure who he likes. I don't really care. I think Fumita does like Sekai. I don't freaking care. I'm here for the mobile suits, boy. Mobile suits before everyone else, boys. And that's basically it. Oh wait, no. I think China's brother likes Sekai's sister, but she does have a lot of fan art. Y'all love drawing her. I'm just pointing that out there. But it's solid. It's a really solid show. If you haven't seen, Build That, people don't give it the shine because it's not the original. It's not Saviour in them, but it's a pretty good show. If you watched it, you should watch it. Build Burning Gundam is awesome. winning Fumina's pretty awesome. Honestly, there's also a scene where the winning Fumita, where the Fumina's mobile suit, her SD mobile suit, because she primarily had SD, turned into a bigger mobile suit. That was pretty cool. Star Fumita, that was pretty cool. And then one of Fumina's mobile suit, her mobile suit, her original mobile suit was a support suit combined with Sekai's mobile suit, and they confused, and it was cool. It was cool. I love it. Build divers. I'm gonna give my boy build divers, build fighters. I'm gonna give it the C. It's not as good. Oh, I give it B. Okay, I can stay in B. I don't care. B for build fighters. B for fighters. B for build fighters. They can stay there. Next your opportunity. We're gonna do our boy mobile suit Gundam Thunderbolt. We're heading back to the UC era with mobile suit Gundam Thunderbolt. Gundam Thunderbolt is an alternate universe Gundam that takes place in a place called the Thunderbolt sector. The basically whole crux of this conflict is everyone's fighting over this sector, and I do not remember why. You cannot make me remember why. The point of this movie is that everyone is basically trying to survive out this really dangerous sector where there's just lightning bolts, everything is striking, it's wild. The Zeon people, the people in the Zeon side are a bunch of people who, let's just say the war hasn't been too kind to them, and they've lost a lot of limbs. And you feel bad for them. Thunderbolt, you feel bad for Thunderbolt's cast. You're like, man, if only they weren't in this conflict, they'd be okay. That's kind of how Thunderbolt makes you feel now. I don't know the full context of Thunderbolt because the manga, the movies came out, and they said, well, JK, go read the manga for the rest of the movies, which I honestly feel like they should just, finish Thunderbolt, but do the animes, but they don't want to do that. They're like, no. Like, no, we're not going to do that. But from what we saw, there's some really good, we have the full armor Gundam, pretty solid. The Psycho Zaku, pretty solid. A lot of really great fight scenes, characters. The captain lady, she's cool. In the second movie, you got introduced, I think it's first or second movie, we're introduced to the lady, pretty cool. And then in the second movie, we're introduced to the Atlas Gundam, which is immediately pretty cool. But that's all I can say about the second movie, because the second movie just spirals from there. The second movie goes from, oh, it was pretty good, to, the second movie, it's not good. First movie, solid, amazing work. Second movie, there's stuff about cults. Yeah, second movie. I don't like thinking about the second movie. So, first Thunderbolt movie, I'm gonna give it the B tier, because it's good. B. But the second movie, I'm going to give it the C tier. Sad day. C tier, no good. But Atlas Gundam's good. Honestly, most because I cannot remember that movie's plot, which is not a good sign. If I can't remember the movie's plot, it's not good. But the lady from the movie's awesome. The tattooed lady. She's awesome. That's it. Next. Alright, here, look at this, boys. We're down to the final wire. We got Alright, now we're gonna go into the continuations, sequels, and continuations. So before we get into gear, let me just look at this for a sec. Alright, we are back at it. Let's get it done. Alright. Next. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Breaker Battlelog. Again, like I said earlier, I didn't really watch it, so I'll put that in currently watching, so that's out. Next, the goated season that was great until it wasn't because they added that stupid boy in. Mobile Suit Gundam Build Diver Rewrite Season 2. The second season of this show was phenomenal. It was perfect. Again, I know there's something like Shiny. If you say that again, I'll whoop you. I know. It was a good show. It was really good. After the end of the conflict of what happened at the end, we realized, oh wow, these furry AIs are actually real living human beings. Oh frick, we're actually on an alien planet. Oh frick, wait, pause, wait, we're actually being translated to another world when we go into the digital game, and now this is all real and people are actually dying. Yeah, the conflict has gotten real, boys. Yeah, this is a problem. See, the stakes have gotten real now. So now we're actually fighting on an alien planet to stop an alien AI from taking out the new inhabitants of the planet. That the old inhabitants of the planet set to protect the planet, but the new inhabitants don't look like the old inhabitants. So now the AI is like, hey, y'all aren't supposed to be here. Let me just do a alt delete on y'all real quick and send robots to take you out that happen to look like iconic other mobile suits from other shows. So yeah, after the end of the first half, this cast gets their butt whooped. a little bit, and Hero comes back and says, okay, I gotta make a new, my core Gundam has been defeated. I need to make a new updated core Gundam 2 that can use this thing is called the planet systems, which obviously he already had the planet systems in the first core Gundam, but he's like, I gotta go back, and everyone's like, okay, we got beat. We need to rebuild everyone's mobile suits. So everyone rebuilds their mobile suits and comes back in, except May. May did not get a new mobile suit, but May's like, my thing is fine. I don't know what that was. That scared me. May rebuilt and Parv, his Dragon Gundam, his SD Dragon Gundam, 00 gets a new SD Dragon Gundam. I don't know what that was. It's a new SD Dragon Gundam, and it's pretty hype. The show is hype. It's really good. They start fighting back things happen, and then the ultimate best scene for also they've been fighting this one dude, this one masked dude. He's not actually evil. He's actually a real comatose dude in real life, and his mind is stuck in the alternate alien world, and they're trying to get him back. They're having a hard time getting him back, and also there's also a space dragon. Quattro. It's good, and the ending is super hype and amazing. And if you haven't watched it, you have no excuse. It's on Gundam Info. So if you haven't seen the show, it's on Gundam Info, and you have no excuse. Also, core change, Venus to Saturn. If you get that reference, you've seen the show. If you haven't seen the core change, or if you get the reference, King Mode, then yeah. No, if you don't know what I mean by King Mode, then you don't know. King Mode. Anyway, that scene is so hype. I swear. If you get the reference, you get the reference. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. I love that show. Build Divers, everybody. Yeah, buddy. Build Divers Re-Rise. Let's do this, homies. Build Divers Re-Rise. Season 2. Get your boy the B tier with your first season. Although one thing that happens is the characters from Re-Rise. The characters from Divers show up, which that was not cash money. That was terrible. I hated that. That was awful. I hate that happened. But I'm not gonna dock the show points for that. I hate Riku. His girl is fine, but I hate Riku. Next. Next. Oh, I went too far down. Okay, here we go. What are we doing now? Okay, so I have all the Cosmic Era. Okay, so we have to do all the Cosmic Era. All of Wing, Age, X, G-Savers. Okay, let's get the show I don't like out the way. Let's get the show I don't like out the way. Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory. Now, when I originally liked the show, I liked Stardust Memory. I thought Stardust Memory was a fun, enlightening show. I thought, oh wow, this is gonna be a fun Gundam show. Oh wow, this is how the Titan's gonna get established. Okay, some Zeon remnants stuck into this experimental, Federation base. They're working on these new Gundams that are armed with nukes. Hey, that's against the Antarctic Treaty. Yeah, we know, but the Federation doesn't care. And they get stolen, and it becomes Dude, Where's My Car? The anime, which at first is not bad, but then we're stuck with the worst protagonist in all of Gundam. Outside of Riku. Ko Araki. 0083 on paper should work. 0083 on paper is a great idea. 0083 on paper and animation is great. What ruins it? What ruined it? If you watched the original video, I said I loved it. I was having a great time. And I stopped loving it. You want to know why? Nino Pimpleton and Ko Araki. Everyone else in the show was fine. Annabelle Gato, great. Heck, I think 0083 would be a better show if Ko's friend was the protagonist. I kid you not. If his friend, this guy, was the protagonist, the show would be so much better. It'd be a better Gundam show. It'd be amazing. If he was the protagonist, he was the one doing all at helm, and Ko was just his sidekick. Oh my god, that's awesome. 0083 is what happens when you make a side character the main character, and it goes horribly wrong. Because Ko is just awful. He's not good. He's bad. But every other version of the GPO one, from the first version to the other secret version that people don't know about, they're all amazing. I love every other GPO models. They're all great. Even GPO 2. Amazing. I don't have those model kits. Those are expensive now. Look at the Gundam product. Look at the Gunpla prices. Jesus Christ, Gunpla prices. I want to build that one, but I can't. Honestly, Man of Destiny, both intros from Man of Destiny to the other ones, good songs. It's done by MIQ. She sings the Zabungalu battle theme, which is pretty good. Combat Mech Zabungo. She's also very famous. Her songs are good. Also, I don't want to crap on Ko's Japanese voice actor, Ryo Kakao. It's not Ryo Kakao's fault. It's just Ko's just a bad character. Ryo Kakao, he's a he's notable as Japanese voice Vegeta. No one special. Really anyone. Just voice Vegeta. Nothing special. And I wanted to like Double A. It's just that Ko is just Ko and Nina just drag the show from its great place to a bad place. It just drags it down. It drags the soul of the show down, and that's what ruined it for me. Ko and Nina. So because I still like Double 83 somewhat, I'm gonna be not as rude, and I'm gonna give it. I'll do halfway, and even though my brain wants to put it in F, I will go halfway and put it into C because it's still redeemable in some aspects. Also, in the end, Ko goes to jail, which that made me smile. I didn't understand why he went to jail, but I know why he did. Also, the captain died. Didn't understand why that happened, but I know why it happened now. When I watched it, I didn't know, but I know now. Yeah. At the end, because stuff happened. Because he stole the third GPO3, which he wasn't supposed to do that because he was a freaking stupid idiot. Honestly, if Ko would have minded stupid business, it would never happen. Stupid Ko, you idiot, you freaking moron. This series did not have to happen, but it's all Ko's fault. Technically speaking, if Ko would have let a more experienced Gundam pilot take over, the Titans would have never rose up. So it's really Ko's fault. Ko's an idiot. Alright, let's go ahead and do one more intermission, and then let's end this video off. Ko's a freaking idiot. Well, end it off isn't right. We still have a little halfway through, but you know what I mean. Shut up. Intermission time. Welcome back to the third ad read. Once again, if we had one of those, it would go right there. Ad reads. Yeah, buddy, ad reads. If we had one, it would go right there. I have to take a break again. Ad reads. Yeah, ad reads. Reading the ads. Yeah. No ads today. This is to help break it up when I'm editing. I'm being lazy instead of making one long video. This helps break it up so I can edit it faster. You do not know how much this is helping me. Ad reads. Ad reads. So let's get this in gear. Next. Mobile Suit Gundam. Not Gundam. G-Saviours. Now, G-Saviours is, let's say for lack of a better term, the most hated Gundam thing of all time. In a lot of ways, people hate it because it's actually the first live-action Gundam movie. Before, I want to talk about it before, your homies at Legendary finally put out theirs. Which, when's that coming out, Legendary? Y'all aren't scared, are you? I mean, if you mess up, Gundam Community's just gonna rip you up forever. So that being said, G-Saviours is the first Gundam movie, and for the first Gundam movie, you'd think it'd be great. Well, not great, but it's not exactly terrible. See, G-Saviours, people hate G-Saviours. People think it's the worst thing ever, but I have to say, it's not the worst thing ever. It's actually enjoyable in a, let's say, late 1999 Disney Channel kind of way. Like, that's what it feels like. G-Saviour is like a late 1999 Disney Channel Gundam movie. That's what this is. That's what it feels like. It's cheesy. It's funny. It's like, you'll have a laugh if you watch it. If you take it seriously, you're like, oh, I hate it. But if you have fun, if you like having fun, and you laugh at it, it's a really good it's a really good thing to watch. It's a really good movie to watch. It's funny. Like, take our main character. Our main character, this guy, he's freaking hilarious. He's freaking hilarious. The line delivery is just so, like, it's like room level of, it's so bad it's good. Like, you're gonna enjoy your time. Like, if you take your brain off and stop having sick of your butt, you're gonna freaking enjoy it. And then when the parts where you actually see the mobile suits, mobile suit in the G-Saviour itself, which isn't even called a Gundam, it's just called a G-Saviour, which when that thing is on screen, yeah, the CGI looks old as heck, but it's fun. G-Saber is a funny movie. It's funny. You know, it's not supposed to be funny. Honestly, the actual, like, if you look at the manga tie-in or whatever it was on the Gundam Wiki on this page, which I'll leave in the description, it's actually really interesting. You know, G-Saber could have been really interesting. Honestly, the character designs, when you see the anime versions of them, it looks so good. And the G-Saber anime version looks so good, but then G-Saber has just become a joke. I mean, the G-Saber itself looks honestly really good. Also, no one knows if this is canon or not. No one knows if it's canon or not because it's so far into the future. Honestly, this was like set in super late UC. I don't even think it's called anything. So the plot of the movie is basically an organization called Consent. Yes, they're called Consent. It's a joke. They're like the New Titans. Ironically, the Federation didn't learn and made a New Titans. And they're basically trying to control this super mineral. You know, the main character basically, he was just an undersea diver and he found this super mineral and they want it. That's basically the movie, and then the chaos ensues and they try to attack him and try to get it. And it's a fun movie. If you're not opposed to having fun, it's a funny movie. As a Gundam live action, it is not great. But if you like the late 2000s straight to video TV cheese, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have a fun time with it. You're like, wow, it's not great, but it's a watchable. It is definitely watchable if you have the right mindset when watching it. If you have the wrong mindset when watching it, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna think it's awful. But if you have the right mindset when watching it and you go into it with a okay, I know it's bad, but it's gonna be funny to watch, then you're gonna enjoy it. It's like Room. It's like The Room. It's really funny. It's really funny in how weird it is. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and give my boy Gundam G-Saber the C tier because it is not terrible. It is just like, well, that was fun in a weird way, in a very weird way. I enjoyed my time. That was funny. That was definitely fun. Next Saruni Mobile Suits Gundam F91. Technically the next Gundam that's supposed to be after Unicorn, but it's actually Hathaway before Hathaway was announced. Gundam Unicorn. I'm going F91. Mobile Suit Gundam F91 is a very interesting beast because the behind the scenes story of F91 was, originally speaking, F91 was supposed to be a 52 episode anime. It was supposed to be an anime before being taking what they had. So while they were working on it, they had the first 10 episodes done, and then they smushed it down into a movie. Which, if you think that sounds like a bad idea, well, you're kind of right. It kind of was a bad idea, but it still resulted in a really beautiful and a well-drawn movie. F91 is stunning. The point of the movie is the Crossbone Vanguard, or basically a new space aristocracy to take over the Zeon. The Federation has just been like, you know what? We're pretty much useless at this point. We have no power. We are just crippled. But then this new faction, the Crossbone Vanguard, shows up. I don't really know where they come from. No one really knows. They might come from the Jupiter. They might come from Mars. No one really knows where the F91, where the Crossbone Vanguard comes from. They're basically like, okay, we're gonna make a space aristocracy in space. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go take over this colony in the most violent way possible. Except it wasn't as bad because it was the Federation's fault. So in the first opening act of the movie, it's kind of the Federation's fault that everyone kind of gets beaten. Like, the Federation has no chill. They literally went in there with their mobile suits. Like, the Crossbone Vanguard did not cause as much damage as you think they did. Like, it was mostly down to the Federation being freaking stupid. Because they are freaking stupid. Like, literally, like, why are y'all fighting in the colony? Come on, y'all. Come on. All the casualties could have been avoided. But basically, the movie revolves around Sibuk Arno and Cicely Fairchild, who is the granddaughter of the new space aristocracy, who wants to take over space. Yay! More space dictators. Hooray, space dictators. I don't know what was over there. I was looking at something. Hooray, space dictators. And basically, the movie goes like that for a while. You know, they steal Cecily, which I'm convinced that she has, at some point, was mind controlled due to the point of her father. On the day where it happened, her father told her to wear special earrings so the quote-unquote boss Crossbone Vanguard could find her. I'm convinced that her earrings were mind controlled, but I cannot prove that because there's no plot point in the movie that can actually support my claim. So it's more of a headcanon that I have chosen to believe. So it would make some of her weird actions make sense, because honestly, the movie is sort of jumbled together because obviously it was supposed to be an anime and it was turned into a movie. So they only had the first 10 episodes of the anime done. It's like, well, instead of banning this, we're just gonna cut pieces together and try to make it make sense. Which, for a hack job, it's pretty good looking hack job, you know. So mayhem ensues. People and them actually end up having to leave the colony because, dude, they tore that colony to shreds. The first opening act of F91 is rough. Cecily at some point during the part where they try to get her, they thought they killed Seabook, so she thought, oh, Seabook's dead. I guess I now have to force and be in this space of autocracy, even though I really don't wanna. Because honestly, in her position, some people were like, oh, well, she could have said no. No, I don't think she could have said no. I really think she really had to play that part, because honestly, in a lot of scenes where she's like, well, I was just confused. Yeah, if you were forcibly taken by a really violent force and you said no, you're not going to do that, what do you think they're going to do to you? Spoiler alerts, it's not going to be good. So you probably should play along unless you want to die. Which from her point of view, I can see that. Why Cecily did what she had to do. Because, I mean, would you play along? I wouldn't. I'd just be like, oh, frick, okay, yeah, I'm whoever you say you are, yeah. Like, help me. That's what I'd be the whole time. I'd be like, help me. Like, blink if you're in danger. Blink, 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 blink. Save me. They're gonna do stuff. That'd be the whole movie. That'd just be me. But Seabook ends up, they get rescued by a space boat and they end up on a new Federation ship where they have the titular Gundam F91 on it, and they can't get it working. They're like, man, we cannot get this thing working. Until Seabook's little sister is like, oh, hey, I know how to get it working. This weird pattern that our mom, who actually developed the F91, knew it, and it's actually a quilt pattern. And I'm just going to set it up into the Gundam, and boom, now the Gundam works. And then stuff happens. That's it. I don't want to spoil the rest of the movie. F91's a really good movie. The ending is really good. Even though, technically, even though F91 has that one line at the end, this is only the beginning. And I'm like, no, it isn't. Y'all didn't come back and make anything else afterwards, except Victory, which is set 20 years in the freaking future. After F91. So, honestly, the late UC is such a weird time, because it's the most under-documented time of Gundam. Like, there's only a few channels like this guy who covers it, but most late UC is just not talked about. Like Kakarot's, channels like Kakarot and other ones who are more busy about early UC, there is no documentation of late UC. Like, there's barely none. Barely any. Please change that. Late UC is so interesting. That being said, F91, the movie itself, also Eternal Wind is one of the best songs ever. Even the lady who sang the Zate Gundam scene came back and sung that song again, and it's so good. F91, I love it. But I need to be true to myself. I'm going to give it the B tier, even though I want to, in my heart, give it the A tier, but people will never let me do that. So I'll give it the B tier, because I love it. F91's a good mobile suit. Love it. F91, boys. Woo! Love it. Next arena. Now I can go one of two ways. We can either do the Cosmic Era, or we can do the Amino Domini, or we can do Wing. So we can do one of three things. So I think before we do either of the things, let's take out your boy, the Magnificent Legend, Mobile Suit Gundam NT, the sequel to Unicorn. Mobile Suit Gundam NT is set, I think, it's either during or after the Unicorn, during the Unicorn, whole Apostles Box incident. But this takes place in a different incident called the Unicorn Incident. Basically, some backstory, the three main characters in this movie were Jonah, Yuna, and the third girl, whose name who escapes me. She basically was a true new type and actually saw, hey, guess what? Remember what happened when Zeon dropped the colony on Sydney, Australia? Well, she saw that and said, hey, everyone, we should evacuate. And then the Titans, before becoming Titans, they took note of that. They're like, oh, hey, this girl saw the future. I wonder if we can exploit that for war, said the UC. Said the Federation. No, I wonder if we can exploit that for war, said the Federation. And then they took her and experimented on her. Well, they took all three and they thought, oh wow, they're all psychic. We can make soldiers out of it. Until, yeah, that's not how that works. That's like, oh. And then her freaking so-called friend sold her out and said, nah, me and Jonah aren't freaking psychics, even though he is a freaking new type. We can't do nothing. Here, it was just her. And she basically just ends up, going off and getting adopted by a rich family. And Jonah's just like, oh, That's freaking awesome. Rita, come back. Oh, and then Rita's ends up working for the Titans for a while, or the Federation / Titans for a while. And then she ends up, getting her soul stuck in the third unicorn, as, typical Wednesday in Gundam, your soul just got stuck in a Gundam, it happens from time to time, people's souls get stuck in mobile suits from time to time, it happens. A lot. More than you think. And basically, Rita's friend who sold her out, she basically like, hey, I need to, we kind of need to chase this thing down. So we kind of need to, chase this thing down while it's running around. So basically, it starts this new event called the Unicorn Chase, and everyone's trying to get the third unicorn. So Jonah ends up piloting the test bed unit for the new Gundam, the NT, which is the test bed unit, which is actually the test bed for the new Gundam, but is not the machine that was made from the Saviour in the new Gundam, the Sinanju Stein, it's funny. So you got the new Gundam, so you have the NT, which is the testbed unit for its Psychomu frame. Then you got the new Gundam, and then you got the Sinanju Stein, which is made from the combined data of the Sinanju Stein and the Saviour. Y'all learn things. Don't say I don't teach y'all things from these videos. There's so much Gundam where it's so not talked about that it's so interesting. So the whole trace of this. So basically, Juna was trying to stop her with his NT, the NT Gundam, but fails, and they end up having to keep chasing her to a colony. In the colony, Juna ends up awakening some new type power, and it takes her Rita when she comes back and takes it back. On top of that, the sleeves are still around, but this really psycho dude was put in charge of, the Sinanju Stein, a powerful mobile suit that has Psychomo in it, and he's kind of insane. He's unhinged. My man's unhinged. He's not well, and he's just basically insane. And stuff happens, towards the end of the movie, he's trying to, basically annihilate everyone. And, it's up to Yuna after his NT gets destroyed and his friend dies. And he basically unlocks the NT's superpower. By superpower, I mean it just dies and he ends up in the third unicorn. And then it goes into destroy mode. It's great. And then Banasha shows up at the last second and says, "Mess off, boy!" And then we see a scene at the end of the movie where the third unicorns, all the unicorns are sealed away or dismantled. And that's all we have until Unicorn 3. Until Unicorn 2. Which, for everyone wondering, what's Unicorn 2? I don't know. Ask Bandai. Literally, ask Bandai. There's apparently supposed to be something called Unicorn 2. I don't know what Unicorn 2 is. Ask Bandai. I can't put the picture in here because I might get in trouble, but I'll put a link in the description for what I'm talking about. The picture. Unicorn 2. Whatever that is. So that's NT. A lot of people when it came out, people were mixed on it because honestly, I feel like NT would have been better if it was an anime instead of a movie because NT's story could be interesting. It could be very interesting. It was so interesting that they actually got expanded upon in Super Robot War 30, which I haven't played Super War 30. Once I do, I will talk about that one day. But hey, NT's storyline is actually quite interesting to the point where they were like, "Hey, Super War 30, we're gonna add y'all in." That being said, when it's gonna NT the movie, I'm gonna give my boy, not the E tier. I'm going to give it probably a C, because it's not terrible. I've actually came around on it, because I actually had to watch the movie 3 times. Because originally when I watched it, I didn't like it, but then after watching it like 3 or 4 more times, I started getting into it, and I'm like, ooh, this is actually starting to get really good. It's getting really interesting. But I just wish it was longer and it was an anime. That probably would have made it so much better, and probably expanded upon things. Because the storyline is interesting. What happens when your soul gets stuck in a Gundam? That sounds cool. That really should be more interesting. And had more time to shine. That's really hot name pun. Really, it's interesting. So, I'll definitely not just reckon give you my boy the C tier. Woo, NT boys. Slick animation, slick everything, and music was great. Cage is also one of the best Gundam tracks. In between tracks, awesome. Ending tracks, awesome. And then also Silver Bullet Suppressor. Come on. By the way, in my heart, Silver Bullet will always be a Gundam. People are like, it's not a Gundam. Yeah, it's not Gundam by name, but it's made by Gundam Alloy, so he's a Gundam. In my mind, Silver Bullet is a Gundam. He's just not called a Gundam. Like the Hyakushiki, he's a Gundam. He's just not called a Gundam. He straight up is a Gundam. Like on paper, this man is a Gundam. It's just we just don't call him a Gundam. Same thing for the Sinanju. It's also a Gundam. We just don't call it a Gundam. It's a Gundam without being a Gundam. So it's a Gundam. That's funny. Next. And now, the man, the myth, the legend, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, the most infamous super robot only Gundam show of all time. Mobile Fighter G Gundam is the only titular super robot Gundam show that exists after the Build Fighters. We don't talk about that. It is a show set place in the future era, where basically everyone, all of Earth's disputes, war, everything, are settled by a giant 1v1 fights across the world. And basically, our main protagonist, Domo Kashu, is the brother of the two scientists. Is the brother and son of two scientists who built a super ultimate Gundam to end all world peace and crap, whatever. I don't know. The end world peace and whatever. And basically, that Gundam goes rogue and goes to Earth and tries to, ruin everything. And so his dad and brother are wanted fugitives, and his dad is put in the cryo chute for a crime that he didn't commit. So it's up to Domo and Kasu to enter the Gundam fight to clear his father's name and his brother's name. His brother didn't actually do anything either. His brother wasn't evil either, but that's a spoiler. And he's also tasked with being the representative of Neo Japan, and he has a master's on Earth. And basically, fights ensue, and you probably think that show would get boring real fast. No, it does not. It only gets more hype as the show goes on. Like, honestly, as you watch the show just gets hype up. And then you get introduced with a bunch of amazing characters like Chibity, Chibity, Saisaichi, this guy, the French dude, and then the Russian dude, I think, or German dude, and Allenby. And then God Gundam is pretty cool. Domo ends up going to Earth and he ends up fighting this evil thing, and he's trying to whoop their butt. And then he turns out, hey, you can't beat them without the superpower, so we're gonna make you the new leader of this new group called the Shuffle Alliance, and you get this nice crest on your fist. You're now the King of Hearts, and you're gonna yell super robot puns and stuff. It's pretty dope. Domo's pretty hot-headed, and it's pretty dope. And then later, your main Gundam gets beat up, but then you get a new Gundam called the God Gundam. It has a super mode. Also, should have mentioned that whenever the Shining Gundam goes into super mode, Goemon goes Super Saiyan because Dragon Ball Z was out at the time, and man, I thought that was pretty cool. Also, this show was made after Victory. After Victory was like, oh man, Victory is pretty depressing, so we kind of need to change up Gundam. But honestly, G Gundam is important because without G Gundam, we wouldn't have alternate universe shows. Like, G Gundam is an important big deal. Without G Gundam, there is no IBO, there is no Wing, there is no After War X, there's none of these shows. Without it, there is none of these shows, and there's no Witch for Mercury. There's no build. Like, G was the show that made Sunrise take a chance and make something brand new. And for that, I have to put my respect to G. G gets its respect. I have to give my boy respect. The OST is amazing. Trust You Forever and Shine in the Sky are awesome. Every character in the show is standout. G Gundam, your boy, give it the A tier. G Gundam gets the A tier, boys. Whoa. I love G Gundam, guys. Next Saruni opportunity. We're gonna do it. The Pumpkin Dance. Mobile Suit Gundam. Hathaway's Flash. Now, technically, I'm only ranking the first movie of Hathaway's Flash, not the other ones because they're not here. We're only doing the first movie. The first movie is great. This is set somewhere after Char Counterattack, but somewhere after Unicorn. So this is in UC 103. So we're in the super future, before F91. So this movie takes place way before F91, but after Unicorn and after NT. So in the future of UC 001, UC 103, I think? 101, 103, 104, I don't really know when this is. It's like UC. Hey, future sign, thank you. Thank you, future sign. Basically, after what happened at the end of Counterattack, which, by the way, one more spoiler, more backstory, Hathaway's Flash was originally a sequel to Bell Tortiga's Children, which is why I had to regard Bell Tortiga's Children when I talk about Counterattack first. Then it's a sequel to Bell Tortiga's Children. So the problem is they had to adapt this movie as a sequel to Counterattack, but it's actually a sequel to Bell Tortiga's Children, so things were cut out and changed and messed with and messed around. So the original novel is completely different from the events we have here. The novel things, a lot of things are different, like the XC Gundam, it looks different. Certain other aspects are a little different, but most of it is faithful. So the first act of the movie is Hathaway's on a ship because he's boarding to Earth. and it gets hijacked by these people claiming to be Matthew. There's a problem with that, but you'll figure out why the problem with that is much later. Hathaway ends up going commando mode while he's on the ship with another lieutenant called Lieutenant Kenneth and a girl named Gigi, who may or may not be a new type at this point. We do not know. I assume that she is a new type because how else would she talk to Hathaway? She has to be a new type. Anyone says she's not, that makes no sense. She has to be a new type. Has to be. And stuffing to, then he ends up taking out the criminals on the ship and takes it out and ends up landing. He ends up befriending Gigi and Kenneth, but he's actually secretly on Earth trying to do his own secret ops to take down the Earth Federation government, because by this time the Earth Federation government has become really super tyrannical. Hey, spoiler alerts, Unicorn, NT, Counterattack, and a bunch of other things have happened, so the Federation is super unhinged at this point. There's like, okay, you know what? We are not taking any chances, which is kind of funny to see how they end up at the end of F91 in Victory, but like, we're like, you know what, we're not taking any more chances. We're just gonna monitor people. People hate us, but we do not care. We are not taking any chances. Which is why Hathaway's group, Matthew, yes, spoiler alerts, Hathaway is the leader of Matthew, ends up developing a new Gundam, the XC Gundam. And the fight goes on. Hathaway ends up meeting the pilot of the Penelope Gundam, aka a successor to the new Gundam. It's not really a successor to the Gundam. It's like the Federation made their own space chicken, caca. And Hathaway ends up battling in the movie, and that's basically it. One thing I will say is Gundam, the XC Gundam does not make an appearance until the end of the movie. Around the end of the movie. That's about it. Overall, for the first movie, it's pretty faithfully adapted to the book. There were things obviously that were changed, but as the first movie goes around, it's pretty great. It's pretty shut and dry right now because the other parts haven't been announced, and we don't even know when those are coming out. I don't know if those are still being worked on, honestly. It's been 3 years. It's been about a year since the first movie came out. The first movie came out in 2021. It's 2023, so when the rest of the movies come out, is your best as good as mine. So, hey, Hathaway's Flash first part, really solid movie. I'm gonna give your boy the beats here. It's a really solid movie, and if you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. Go watch it, or don't. Because Netflix is pretty cringe. No password sharing. What up with that? Pretty cringe. Okay, we're down to the final wire. Now we can go one of two ways. Let's do my homie Mobile Suit Gundam. Now we're in the super late UC. Mobile Suit Gundam Victory. Mobile Suit Gundam Victory takes place in the late UC. At this point, this is currently, until we get to two other shows, is the latest point in UC where Federation has completely collapsed. A new faction has popped up, the Crossbone Vanguard. I don't know where they came from. They probably came from Jupiter, let's be honest, because the Jupiter Empire happened in another Gundam property called Crossbone, which Crossbone is not getting animated right now. Don't ask Sunrise. They're not doing Crossbone. They need to, but for legal reasons they can't. But right now we're in the far late UC, super late UC, and this young boy named Uso Winning, who may or may not be the grandson of Char Asimov, we don't know. Which I don't even know how he could be the grandson of Char Asimov. We don't know if that's a fan theory. I don't know if that's true or not. We don't know. This young boy is on Earth. He's a space immigrant. He came from, we don't really know where Uso came from. And he's on Earth with this girl named Shakti, and they're basically joined up with this group called the League Militaire, and they're trying to stand up to the Zanskar Empire, because at this point the Federation cannot do anything. They are so weak that they can't even make battleships. The Zanskar Empire has basically came on the Earth and said, okay, follow our rules or you get the guillotine. And they basically rule Earth with the guillotine. Because honestly, would you want your head chopped off? I don't think so. So for a while, the League Militaire is up against them and they're getting beat until they get into space. A lot of deaths and things in between happens. Because, spoiler alert, Tomino is very depressed when he makes this series. So, Kill 'Em All Totemal makes his return and things just go from there. Jeez, things goes from there. F9, Victory is a really good show. The first half is a little slog to get through because, spoiler alert, Sunrise sort of sabotaged the show and made the fifth episode the first episode. So you basically have to play catch up with the first half of the anime. And then after that, everyone's basically trying to get into space because they're trying to stop, the Zanskar Empire. And the show takes a couple turns. At first it's like, okay, first turn, not too bad. Second turn, okay. Third turn, okay. We're just getting to places. going places, aren't we? And it just goes up, down, in between. We introduced to a lot of characters like Tobias and this guy, Otaro. He's pretty cool. Otaro's pretty cool. And Tobias is pretty cool. Tobias is also pretty cool. Yeah, and things happen in between the show, and stuff happens, and then we get to the ending, which the ending still baffles me to this day, which I don't want to spoil the ending for those who haven't seen it, but it's the ending. Can I ask a question? What happened to Tobias? Does anyone know what happened to Tobias? He just kind of, it's not there anymore. Did he die? I don't know. Did Tobias die? Like, the ending of Victory is very strange. It's like, when did Tobias die? Because he's like at the end, he's just not there. He's just not there. Did he die? Does anyone know? Do you know? Will someone tell me, please? Will someone please tell me? Did Tobias die? But honestly, it had a lot of like the B2 Gundam was awesome. The Shark Tag team, I wish I wouldn't call them a joke. They're kind of a joke because the all-female strike team sounds like a great idea. But honestly, as quickly as they died, it's just okay, that's a joke. And a lot of things go from there and that and the other. It's a heartbreaking series, and stuff that happened to Uso and his parents. It's also pretty heartbreaking. Honestly, the show was pretty good in a lot of aspects, but really bad. Tomino likes to pretend like it never happened. I like Victory. There's some things for Victory I like, and I would like to appreciate. I want people to appreciate Victory for what it is. Ending's a little whack. Well, whack isn't correct. It's like a little strange, super strange, but overall the show is okay. Honestly, I like Victory. So I'm gonna give Victory the I'm gonna give it the probably B or C tier. I'm probably gonna go B tier because I actually like Victory. Probably give it C. Probably give it the C tier. Also, all the music from Stand Up to Victory and Don't Stop Carry On are amazing intros. I actually really like the show. I really like Victory. So Victory Gundam gets also the Wing of Lights are super cool. Victory Gundam gets the B tier. Don't stop. Actually, if I sing that, I'm gonna get in trouble. So, alright. Here we are. The final intermission, and then let's finish this video off. Intermission. It's the last one of this joke. We're almost done. One more time, and then the video is done. Yo, this is the last intermission. Once again, ad read. If we had an ad, it would probably go right here. Yeah. I still don't see an ad. So I'm gonna make an ad. If you like me covering the news, you should check out my news series. That's News According to Shine. It's fun. I cover the news and I like to talk about Gundam stuff. Also, if this video gets more likes, we're gonna do the waifu tier list again. I said it in the beginning, but we're also gonna do a bunch of other Gundam videos. So had to do this quick ad read. Yeah. Ad read, boys. Ad read. Alright, down to the final wire. Here we are, the final Gundam series to get through. Let's do it. Okay, numero uno. Let's do the Cosmic Area. Alright, starting with the Cosmic Area because while doing these intermissions, which I know you're annoyed by them, important things happen because I just found out that Gundam Seed Destiny's Ignited trilogy, it will actually be happening sometime later in the future, so around 2000, I would say 2026, but I haven't watched the Gundam thing, so China in the Future knows the date. He'll put the date right here when the Seed Ignited trilogy is happening, because apparently some news for that just dropped today. I will not stop this video to work on that, but apparently we're gonna see some new Cosmic Era stuff really soon, so get hyped, guys. So let's get on the Cosmic Era. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. That's a Seed. Original Gundam Seed. So basically, Gundam Seed was created as a way to remake the original Gundam without remaking the original Gundam. So what they wanted to do, what they wanted to achieve with Seed is, they wanted to retell Gundam, but they didn't want to do 0079. They wanted to make a new Gundam. Kind of like what happened with G. They're like, oh, okay, this series actually followed after Turn A, but when we get to Turn A, it's going to be really interesting because it still has a connection to Turn A as well. So this series is set in the Cosmic Era. So basically, the main point of the story is natural versus artificial, which is actually a really important topic for our current time because there's a lot of people debating over natural versus artificial things. And Seed Destiny has a lot of interesting commentary on such things because we're getting to the point in the future where we're gonna have people but like gene editing is already a thing in the current timeline. People can do that now. So See Destiny is kind of a really interesting commentary on something that is currently happening, which is the thing about Gundam. It's always a commentary on what's currently happening in the world. So for them to come back with Seed Ignited is really interesting to see what they're going to say. So the story is set like this. What happened was sometime in the beginning of the story, what a place known as the Plant, which is they're like space colonies. The plants and Earth basically had a little spat. Something happened called the Bloody Valentine event, and a colony got destroyed and people died. So the Earth and the plants, they were like, okay, you know, we're gonna square up. We're gonna have a fight. We're gonna war now, because you know what, you coordinators. You know, the main debate of this was the natural born Earth people were like, ugh, the coordinators are weird. They have special genes. They're abominations, and we gotta get rid of them. And their coordinators were like, oh, well, the natural people are just annoying, so we kind of gotta stop them too. So the natural born people versus the coordinator people end up fighting each other, and it starts into a war. The main crux of the story is main characters Kira, Yamato, and Aftonzala are friends. They're both coordinators, but Kira ends up leaving Earth and going into a colony called Heliopolis. Heliopolis is basically in the middle of a war because they're technically a neutral colony, but they kind of broke some treaties, and they've been developing G weapons, or mobile suits, as we will call them. And people, and the plants find out, like, oh, hey, this stupid neutral colony, right? This neutral colony, right, has been developing the Earth Federation's secret weapon. We should probably go up there and stop them. So they go in there. Originally, they're going to just steal them, but mayhem ensues, and the colony gets ripped apart. Before that, the main character gets, the main lady, and a main ship also forgot. There's also a main ship player called the Archangel that's also there, which is also being housed there against war treaties. Obviously, they're not really that. They ain't some neutral now, are they? And they basically end up getting drafted into this war because, hey, you're not supposed to do that, but hey, this stuff happened. So the main character Kira is a super coordinator, not stupid. I didn't say stupid. Not super coordinator, is a coordinator, and he ends up jumping into one of the G weapons, which he later renames it to a Gundam because he read out the Gundam's acronym and said Gundam. Yes, that's how Gundams are called Gundams in this universe. Also, I am a fan of the Strike because I have right here on my desk. You cannot see it, but I have my entry grade Strike Gundam. I am a fan of Seed. I have my entry grade Strike Gundam right next to me. I will put a picture in post, but I'll have to do some editing to get him in there. But here's my entry grade Strike. I love him. He is a really good kit. You should get this kit. It's really weird because he uses clips instead of polycaps, but it's really cool. And basically, the war goes from there. It basically goes from there because it basically comes down to Kira and Afram. They're on opposite sides. During the assault, during the attempt effort, Kira realizes, oh, hey, my friend is on the enemy's quote-unquote enemy side, and I have to fight him now. Also, hey, I'm on a ship of people who hate coordinators, so that's also great. Also, the series has new types. There's a character named Mulaflaga. He's actually a new type, but we don't talk about that because honestly, the series never even mentions why there are new types. Yeah, the series doesn't care about that too much. Hopefully they talk about that because they kind of retcon something important. And stuff happens. And for a while, it's just Kira and his friends, trying to get to Earth at first, and then Kira loses someone precious to him, and he gets upset. Stuff happens, and the series goes from there. He also meets this girl, Lacus Klein. Again, Lacus Klein is best girl. Oh my god, Lacus Klein is best girl. Don't at me. People are like, Shine, shut up. I'm like, no. Lacus Klein is best girl. Lacus Klein. Yeah. Sorry, I'm down bad. I'm down bad for Lacus Klein. I'm down bad. I'm also down bad for redheads and blondes, but we don't talk about my down badness. And then stuff goes from there. At first, Lacus is actually part of she is part of the plant, but it's actually part of the faction. He's like, hey, the plants kind of suck too, because the head of the plants in the Earth kind of sucked into the head of the plant. His name's Patrick. He's hey, spoiler alert, Afron's father, and he's kind of saying, he's like, you know what, maybe we should just nuke all of Earth and take out the naturals. And then the Earth people were like, let's take out the coordinators. And it's two sides of extremely hateful people who are trying to kill each other. Extremely hateful people are like, you know what, I really want to kill everyone. That's kind of like, these people are insane. These people should not have had any power at all. They're insane. And it just goes, and the cycle of hate just goes on for a while until Kira's like, you know what, this is awful. This is kind of garbage. And Afron's like, you know what, yeah, you know, you killed my best friend, I accidentally killed your best friend, yeah, Kira accidentally killed his best friend, after death, accidentally killed his best friend. They both two had to reconcile that, like, you know, we kill our friends in this meaningless conflict. Also, the Super Nation, not Japan orb is also introduced when they come down to the Super Nation, not Japan, and stuff happens in Kigali. And also, after it almost gets captured once, it ends up meeting Roland in Kigali. She's a best girl. Down bad for down bad for blondes, down bad for blondes, and stuff happens. And then stuff happens, and the series basically concludes in the most interesting way when, you know, after taking out his father and the super crazy, not clone of Mulaflaga, but definitely clone Lakuse, who is basically the shark clone of the series, ends up, you know, having the ultimate fight with Kira, who turns out is the ultimate Super God tier coordinator. Because it's complicated. Again, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But then that happens. So yeah, that's Gundam Seed in a nutshell. Honestly, a not bad series for the time that it came out. I honestly understand why a lot of people who are into anime now ended up watching it as their first Gundam. And it's a lot of people's gateway into Gundam, and a lot of people end up actually staying past Seed. So I thank you, Seed. People hate Seed, but I don't hate Seed. I think Seed was fun. Honestly, it gave me a Transformers or Micron Legends vibe. If you've seen those anime or Transformers, if you know what I'm talking about, it feels like that show. Like, it's the first digital Gundam after Turn A, and it's really it's a good series. You know, after watching it and enjoying it, I love Seed. So I'm gonna give my boy Seed the B. I'm gonna give Seed the B tier. I love Seed. Now for Seed's brother series, Destiny. Oh man, Destiny. Destiny, on the other hand, where do we go wrong? So Destiny started out pretty well. So this is a sequel. Stuff has happened. A lot of things happened, and the planets and the Earth have sort of reconciled. Sort of, you could call it that. You're like a wink. Look, we won't nuke y'all, and y'all won't nuke us. How about that? And that sort of works, I guess. And then it goes, we're not doing that. So yeah, I forgot to mention, during the ending of Seed, the Super Nation of not Japan called Orb gets taken down, and a refugee boy by the name of Shin loses his entire family during that incident. And he kind of hates, you know, Kigali. Kigali's last name is Eula, so he started hating Kigali's father, because Kigali's father was, oh, you know, spoiler alert, I forgot to mention that he's the head of Orb, and he kind of dies in a blaze of glory. Also, Mulaflaga kind of goes in a blaze of glory as well, but we don't worry about that right now, because that's not, it doesn't matter, because it's been retconned. But thanks to the HD cut, curse you HD cut, how dare you ruin that? That was such a touching scene, ruined it. And he basically is trying, he ends up joining the plants, and he ends up becoming a pilot, piloting the whole awesome titular SD Gundam, the Impulse. Which, let me make one thing clear, I love the Impulse because it was one of the first Gundam model kits, proper Gundam SD model kits that I got. It was the Impulse Gundam, and I love the Impulse in my heart. In my heart, the Impulse is my favorite Gundam of all time. One of my favorites. It's in my top 3s. It is definitely in my top 3 to 4s. 5s, 6, 7s. I don't know. It's very tough with multiples nowadays. I have so many favorite Gundams. And he ends up also, Shin's also piloted with Atherin. Atherin was originally there to escort Gala, but then Atherin's like, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy the plants for a bit. I'm gonna enjoy back and show up. Also, Shin has this girl who's on a squad. Her name is her name is Luna Maria. Down back for Luna Maria. Jesus, Luna Maria is also best girl. Ooh, Luna Maria. Luna Maria's best girl. God, I love Luna Maria. And stuff happens. Now the first, I want to say 40 or so, 28 episodes, are solid. Afterwards, your guess is as good as mine, because a lot of real life behind the scenes drama happened with Seed Destiny. Like stuff that I do not have time to get into, so I will literally put a link in the descriptions for you to find out if you're interested. But it is a whole lot of behind the scenes drama that I cannot get into right now. But let me tell you, it was definitely wild in between, and then stuff that happens. But as a show, Seed Destiny, it hurt my heart. The second half, first half was really good. Second half was like, no, the second half is just weird. It's whack. It's whack in a lot of aspects, but the first half is really good. So where did I put my boy Seed Destiny? I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil. So where did I put my boy Seed Destiny? I have to rewatch it again. So for now, I'm going to give it the D tier. But if I rewatch it and I learn to appreciate it again, I have to rewatch it again. I'll improve its score. It's not F, but it's D. It's definitely not good. Not as good as the first half. Seed was pretty good. Seed was definitely pretty good in my eyes. You know what else is super great? My boy Stargazer. Mobile Zate Gundam Stargazer. Now, Stardust to Stargazer is set probably after Seed Destiny, or in between Seed Destiny. Now, Stargazer is set in between what is known as the Break the World event. I forgot to mention that. In Seed Destiny, when something happened, basically some rogue plant agents were like, hey, we're just gonna take out Earth. So they try to drop an asteroid on Earth, Axis Shock style, and everyone comes together from Earth and the planets to try to stop it. But some of the meteorite chunks fail and start breaking everything, which is why it's called the Break the World event, because it was meant to break the world. During this, a young mercenary is part of this death squad from Earth, Phantom Pain, and is trying to basically take out a bunch of people. And it's actually really interesting up until a while. And stuff happens until he gets into space. Once he goes in space, and this lady, who is a researcher, she's trying to create a mobile suit that can go beyond the stars. Which, something that should have been mentioned about Seed Destiny, there is this thing in Seed called Luchar Viennere. Which Luchar Viennere is basically this really interesting particle that the Stargazer has, and also, to a lesser extent, the Destiny Gundam has. I have Tetsuya Gundam for Destiny. I also have Luchar Viennere, which is this basically really interesting particle, which I don't want to butcher because it's very hard to remember. So I'm going to put this text blurb right here for what Luchar Viennere is, so you can read it. It's very interesting. It's very cool. It's very underrated that it's not actually talked about in the show, but it's there, and it's so cool that it's there. But it is never brought up. I hope it, when the Ignited trilogy, that it gets talked about. Luchar Viennere is very interesting, but the show didn't talk about it. But Stargazer is a really interesting show. You know, at first the guys get scientists and scientists get something, and they end up coming together in the end because they're both stuck on this mobile suit and stuff happens, and they're stuck on the mobile suit until the end, and it's good. Stargazer, a lot of people consider Stargazer the only good part of Seed. That's not true. Stargazer is a really good show. And the rest of Seed is okay. Stargazer is also really good. It's really good. The freaking Strike Noir is super cool, dude. Look at this thing. Tell me, look here, it oozes early 2000 edge in a good way. Early 2000 edge. And I love it. I love it. That being said, Stargazer itself is a really good thing. The only con of Stargazer is 3 episodes. So your boy Stargazer, get that beats here with your homie series. Okie artichoke. Here we rock it and go. And next, Mobile Suit Gundam Age. Gundam Age, the show that people like to love to hate on, but don't actually watch because it's actually a really decent series, but hate on it. Gundam Age is basically a very interesting show. It's, what if we took the original Gundams? What if we took the original Gundam's core idea of constantly changing protagonists, but made it a singular show? So it's basically like what if we took the original ideas of Gundam Double Zeta and Gundam Double Zeta and Zeta and made it into a singular show? And that's what you get when you get Age. The point of Age is basically, it's in its name, Age. So the series starts out with this weird alien threat called I think they're called the frick. What are those stupid things called? These things, not the Vandals, are called the whatever. The Via whatever, they're aliens. They're basically aliens, and they're aliens, and they're basically trying to take out people on Earth. They're trying to take over Earth, and everyone gets ravaged. A bunch of colonies have been attacked by these things, and the main character's mom gets taken out by one of these things, and the boy's like, I hate these things. I want my revenge. And he ends up growing up into a boy. He ends up growing up and is like, okay, I'm gonna avenge my mom. I'm gonna go to this colony and I'm gonna build it. And one day while he's building it, building this thing called the Gundam, which there's a machine in this universe called the Gundam. And he ends up, building a Gundam and taking it and trying to take out the alien. And unfortunately, the colony where him and his friends and his new friends are attacked, and the Gundam doesn't get stolen, it just gets attacked, and that whole colony gets blown up. Also during this plot, the Earth Federation, yes, in this show they have an Earth Federation, they're like, we're going to abandon this colony, and we're going to abandon everyone. We also have this nice, super awesome secret battleship called the Diva, and we're just going to run away with it, because we can't help them. But the commander, the guy who's actually the commander, but the commander, he's like, I'm gonna commandeer this vessel. We're gonna go on a vendetta, on these aliens, because they killed my wife, and I want revenge. I kid you not. That's how it starts. and that is literally the first part for a while until the boy, the main boy, forgot his name, it's been so long. Flint, yeah, Flint Stuno. He ends up meeting this girl and the other boy named Desil, who's a little freaking psychopath. He's part of the aliens. Spoiler: the aliens aren't actually aliens, but they're aliens. And for now, everyone doesn't know that they're not aliens, but right now they're aliens, and they end up fighting him for a bit, and he ends up messing off, going off somewhere, and then he ends up meeting this other girl named her name is unfortunately Urine. That is actually her name, Urine. I am not kidding. That is her name. Do not make fun of me. That is her name. I am not joking. And we end up having a oh my god moment in between around episode 45. As they're trying to take out the aliens' fortress, she ends up dying in a bad way, and then Flint just gets mad. Also, I should mention, Seed has their own version of new types of called X-Rounders. They're pretty cool. And that's it for the first half. Second half, it's a couple of years. The C-Book has not C-Book. Christ, I called them C-Book. Oh my god, I'm thinking of F91 because sort of sounds like F91. This sort of sounds like F91 now that I'm saying it out loud. Flint ends up, becoming a higher up in the, I guess, Federation government at the time. I guess we were going to call him that. And he has a son with his childhood love interest, I guess. I don't freaking care. And this is where the show gets really good. The second half with Asimu. Asimu is the best protagonist in all of Seed. And Age, and I won't have no one telling me that because it's really good. Like the second half is really good. And Simu, basically, he's super cool. He's actually a likable character, unlike his father. His father is not likable in any sense of the word. He's not likable, but Simu is really good. And then during this time, we have a school arc where he ends up with this girl named Romery, and she's pretty cool, but Romery also kind of sucks, but kind of doesn't suck. And this new dude transfers into the school because I forgot after all this space battle crap happens, a new colony is like 20 years later, and then a space ball, not colony and new colonies, but these aliens are still around, and then one of the dudes transfers in from somewhere else, and he's actually the alien in the sky, or the aliens in the sky. And so it happens for a while, and then he, at the last day, gets revealed that he's an alien. Seems like he's not an alien, he's my friend. He's like, yeah, I see I'm an alien. Sorry, dude. Peace out. And then he ends up piecing out. And during this, some things happen before that, but he ends up piloting his dad's Gundam Age. I also should have mentioned the first mobile suit in the show is called the Age Gundam. But then he's like, you know what? I don't want to pilot this anymore. So then we make a new Age, the Age 2, which is freaking hype. The Age 2 is the Zate Gundam of Age. It is the GOAT. It is the GOAT. It is the GOAT. I still don't have an Age 2. And then stuff happens. A lot of characters. I also should mention in the first season, there's a character called this guy, the White Wolf, and he's pretty cool. Age is like a little. The first half, Age is super kiddie for a bit, and then the second half is like, oh, we're not gonna do that. We're still a little kiddie, but we're not bad. A lot of reason Age is how it is because it's actually made by Level 5, and if you know Level 5, they make the Professor Layton games. They make a lot of other games, but they also make Megaton Musashi, which that's their current work. If you haven't seen Megaton Musashi, you gotta watch Megaton Musashi. That shit was fire. It just ended. That shit was fire. And stuff happens. I'm not gonna spoil the third act of Age because that's something you need to watch, but that's basically Age in a nutshell. In a nutshell, the show is really good. Honestly, the best mobile suit in Age is the Age 2 Darkhound, which is a future variant of the Age 2. Age 3 is okay, but I mean, the second intro of Age is awesome. It has like a callback to Zate Gundam, which is cool, and it's really like what if we remade the original Gundam but made it a single Gundam Double Zeta and Zeta Double Zeta into a single anime, and that's what I think Age is, and I like it. Age is pretty cool. I like the Age. I enjoyed my time. Z-Heart is my favorite Char not Char clone. I think he's great. I think the storyline was great. I think how he threw away everything in his pursuit for madness to get to his goal, his fake lofty goal, was really sad. And if you've seen Age, you know what I'm talking about. It's really sad. But I liked Age. Age was pretty cool. So Gundam Age, get your boy the B tier. I like Age. Okay, I have trash taste. Leave me alone. I have trash taste. Leave me alone. Next Rooney opportunity. Well, now that we did Seed, we can now do da 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 da. I can't sing that. We're gonna do Just one beat communication. We're doing Gundam Wing. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. I think we're gonna do it. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Ooh, first thing, Gundam Wing. Okay, so basically, we're in the future after Colony timeline. Basically, Earth and space were like, okay, we're gonna do this treaty, I guess. And Earth was like, okay, y'all gonna do stuff, and we're gonna mess off for a bit. And then the space was like, hey, why can't we govern ourselves? And Earth was like, ha, no. So during this nonsense, a tyrannical government called Oz pops up, and the colonies were like, you know what? We don't really like Oz, so we're gonna develop a plan. We're gonna take out Oz and make it our own Gundams. We're gonna send them to Earth. We're gonna try to sabotage Oz. And at first that works out until it stops working out really fast. One of the main protagonists, Hero, he is sent to a school, and there's a girl. Her name is Rolina Peacecraft. She's basically a aristocrat who's basically related to someone who's from something else. And then we have this also Char Counterattack Marquis, who's doing his own thing for a bit. And basically the series starts out pretty slow. You know, I'm gonna admittedly, a lot of people like Wing because it's the series. In a little backstory, Wing is the first Gundam show that came to Western Shore, so in a lot of people's heart, Wing is their first Gundam. And I'm not gonna disrespect people who like Wing, because Wing wasn't bad. It's just the first half was really painfully slow and a little too edgy. You know, a lot of it was like, and I do mean edgy in the bad sense of the word edgy, not in the good word, and not in the good sense. It was like, oh, you know, this is what the famous scene where a hero's like, hey, Relina, I'll kill you, because he saw her in the Gundam, because she saw him in the Gundam, and stuff happens for a while, and a lot of it's like, I'll kill you, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty lame. And it goes like that, you know. It's just for a while, it's the Gundams outmatch everything Oz has, and a lot of corporate espionage and things happen in the background for a while, and then the show picks up steam around the part where rhythm emotion happens, because by that point you realize, oh wait, Relina's actually related, and Zex are actually related, and then they're actually part of an old kingdom that was taken over by thing. Also, Relina now has this new goal of total pacifism, which does not work, which I'll tell you is not a great idea. And Hero's like, hey, you can't really do that. You're gonna have to, also Relina and Hero get along now, but we talk about that because plot developments happen throughout the series, and stuff happens, and another character gets added, and stuff happens for the first half. So that's pretty much it for the first half of Wing. It's just stuff happens. Colony. Also the creators of Gundams kind of try to turn against their people, but because Oz dictates, manipulates the colonists and thinking that Gundams are bad, but they're not bad. And then the prototype to all Gundams, the Wing Zero, exists, and then the Tallgeese, the also prototypes to all Leos exist. I don't have a single Leo. I do have one Wing kit. I have the Wing Gundam Endless Waltz version because it's so good. And that's basically Wing in a nutshell. Wing in a nutshell is kind of forgettable in a sense. Like, it's just kind of forgettable. The only hype over the Wing is the also just announced Gundam Epion, which, hey, by the way, when I put in this video, Ben, I just announced the Gundam Epion, and I'm so hyped. I can't wait to get the real great Epion. Dude, I am such a fan of Epion. It's so cool. Best Dragon Gundam of all time, dude, Epion. That being said, Wing is just basically sort of kind of there for the first couple parts. The middle is pretty good, and the ending is just like, huh, interesting. It makes you go, huh, okay. That's just basically how I feel about Wing for a bit, but Wing is okay. As a show, it's okay. It's not groundbreaking, it's nothing bad, it's just okay. I'm gonna give your boy Wing I want to give Wing the C tier because it's just not that good. But you know what is that good? Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Endless Waltz, to me, is what Wing should have been. Endless Waltz is everything Wing was trying to say condensed into 3 episodes and done perfectly. Wing's idea is, okay, main crux of Wing is Marina wants to do her kingdom, she wants to total pass system. But throughout the course of the series, she's realizing, okay, it's not going to work, but I can still try. Endless Waltz, Marina is just like, you know what, total pass system ain't going to work. So we're just going to have to do this. De-arming doesn't work. Because the main characters try to de-arm. They tried to de-arm. But then a new evil faction You know, they tried to lay down their arms with total pacifism. They tried to send their Gundams into the sun. They tried to do everything else right. But by the end, you realize you cannot do that. You cannot do that. It's not going to work because you have to have some kind of arms. Every country needs to have some way of defending themselves. And given the total pacifism, it's not going to work. You can't do that. In Wing, that's what in this wall straight up says, like, you can't do that. But it does have a really good conclusion at the end. At the end, which also Endless Waltz is considered another Christmas Gundam movie. This is another Gundam movie people watch during Christmas. I mean, OVA during Christmas, which I didn't watch during Christmas, and I do have my Wing Gundam Real Grid. I have not built yet. Don't make me build it. I'm waiting for my Epion. Now the Epion's here, I'm going to build them both together, and I'm going to have them both. I may do a live stream on that. Who knows? I don't know. So Wing Gundam Endless Waltz to me is the better. So I'm going to give that the B tier because Endless Waltz is better than Wing in every regard. Only thing is no Wing Gundam. Only regards as there is no Epion and there is no Endless Irregular Motion. But I like Endless Waltz better. Okidoki, artichokes, here we are to the finals. Alright, now Wings out the way, let's do it. Gundam Evolve. Gundam Evolve is basically a special, let's say a hodgepodge of special what-ifs, alternate takes, and different versions of things that happen in Gundam. Gundam Evolve is a great little OVA series that you can watch and should watch. It basically has an alternate ending. It has an ending. It has an extra scene for Zate Gundam for Double Zeta, for Judo Asta before he goes to the Jupiter Empire. We have an alternate version of Wing, an alternate version of Char's Counterattack where things happen differently. We have a different ending moment where it's Domo, Koshu, and Rain and the Rising and Shining Gundam at the end in 3D, a beautiful 3D CGI. We have a different ending of Wing, which is pretty good. And then we have, last but not least, an alternate special mission where Amuro gets to join up with his team who pilot these special, awesome Zeta Gundams. So if you haven't seen Gundam Evolve, you should check it out. It is amazing. Like, Gundam Evolve is a nice little special. It's a nice little one-off that you should watch after you've seen every other Gundam. So like after you've seen every other Gundam thing, you should watch Gundam Evolve. It's fun, it's great, it's a nice treat, and I won't spoil the rest for you because you should watch the rest. Gundam Evolve, boy, dude. Gundam Evolve gets the B tier because it's really good. Also, watch especially episode whatever with the special Zeta Gundams. Watch that episode, really good. Okay, let's get into gear, boys. We're almost out of here. Amino Domini. Sorry, I said it wrong again. Amino Domini. Mobile Suit Gundam 00, the series that I like to rewatch every 3 years because my brain will never let me let 00 go. Gundam 00, the series goes like this. Okay, it is in this future world of current timeline of Amino Domini. The world is at war. Everyone's fighting over space elevators and everyone's trying to fight over resources. Basically, this one dude, Ilyas Shinberg, comes to the conclusion, you know what, humanity's stupid. We're gonna make them come together whether they want to or not. So I'm gonna devise a plan. I'm gonna come up with these things called mobile suits or Gundams, and they're gonna reform the world. So basically, the series starts with their main characters. They're basically trying to reform the world through armed interventions. Yes, you heard what I just said. They're trying to reform the world through armed interventions. So they think to themselves, well, if we make the world come together, they'll create a one world government, and things will go together, right? For the first half, things pretty much go to plan. So they mysteriously appear. The character sets up Astray, ends up crashing this military launch party of the military's new flagmobile ship called the Flag. Yes, it's called the Flag. This thing. And they end up getting outgunned. Everyone's like, "Whoa, that's a Gundam!" And then the series start doing these things called armed intervention. So basically, Gundam 00 is the first widescreen Gundam show. So that's also important to point out because it's the first widescreen Gundam show. And they're basically trying to, reform the world through armed intervention. So they appear in places where conflict has actually happened where Sadie backdoor things are happening. That's where Gundams take off, where 00 takes off. And Celestial Being is just basically trying to reform the world. That's what they're trying to do. And for the most part, it works out for a bit. Up until we get to the second to ending, we lose a lot of really important key characters, important things happen, and people just mysteriously die off. Not mysteriously, people die off, and it's super sad. And you're probably thinking, whoa, this thing is super perfect, amazing. I mean, the intro is good, Ash Like Snow, all the intros are super fire. And season 1 ends, and it's super dope. And the Exia down to Dynamis, which I have both of those in the non-grades, Exio Dynamis, and just those two, because I wanted those two specifically. I got those. I built the Exio, I haven't built Dynamis yet. And they're super cool. I love 00. 00 Season 1 is solid. It's fantastic. Season 2, on the other hand, where do we begin? Now, we're off the trail of the second season. Celestial Being has been badly defeated due to what happened at the end of the first season, and stuff has just been going wrong for a bit. After that, Season 2 is kind of a blur in my mind because I refuse to remember it because I get mad at it. I just know that a lot of things happen, you know. Oh yeah, I forgot. In Season 1, there's a character called Saji Crossroads introduced. His sister was a reporter. She ended up being killed thanks to what happened because she was looking into the Gundam thanks to that creep Alio Sanchez. He is a creep. I hate that guy. Jesus, I hate the man. And you know, Saji developed a complex like, oh man, Celestial Being, if they were really so good, stuff happens. I also should mention in the first half, a girl by the name of Louise, she ends up getting hurt because in the second season, there are other groups of Gundam Meisters, which is what the Gundam people are called. There's another group of Gundam Meisters, which is what they're called, and they basically end up trying to start issues with the world. They basically end up trying to start issues in the world, and they end up attacking innocent people, which honestly, what Data Trinity did was, honestly, you know, the Gundam Thrones, which honestly, one hot take I have from 00 is, they tried to make the Gundam Thrones look crazy, but they kind of spectacularly failed at it. Like, I feel like they made Nana Trinity them like cartoony villains, is why I laugh at it and go, wow, they're not actually that evil, because it's kind of a joke the way they did things. And it's like, dude, come on, if you wanted to write a serious villain, you should have wrote a serious villain. These Thrones are not serious. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Also, should have mentioned the first half. There are these things called, one character, Tierra Arde, isn't actually human. We have in the super space future of current timeline, we have things called innovators, and they're basically like, well, false innovators, where they're basically like humans who are maybe genderless, and it's pretty wild, and they can interface with what the computer on the Ptolemy, which is their home ship, and it's pretty wild, and they have stuff happens. But in the second season, a lot of things happen. This character, Aluya Hoptes, he's basically a super soldier, and his other girl, Soma Pierce, she's also a super soldier, but they're actually old friends from the super soldier camp, and they end up getting together in the second season, which is pretty dope. But there's also the Colonel Smirnoff, which is pretty dope. But then there's a scene where the Colonel has to take out Colonel Smirnoff's son, takes him out, and it was pretty wild, and stuff happens in season 2. Season 2 was a wild ride. I'm just gonna tell you right now. And if 00 ended at season 2, I don't think I would have been upset at 00. Season 2 was a bit of a misstep. There were things that didn't happen. I'm one of the people who got mad because Louise Halliday took out Name Trinity, but I actually might take that back because Louise Halliday's kind of dope. Louise Halliday actually is kind of dope because one thing I hate about Saji is he always complains like, but he never actually does anything. Louise was like, you know what? I lost my arm. I lost my family. I'm gonna go do something about it. And then she ends up joining the things, but she actually is manipulated. But at least she does something about it, which I can respect her for that. I can't respect Saji because Saji's a freaking piece of crap, and I can't stand it. But can't stand him. Can't stand his butt. That being said, 00 season 2. And also, don't forget the final fight where it's the 00 Riser versus the Oga. I mean, the 00 first, it's the true innovator, and it's 00 versus the innovator, and that's also a really final, awesome, super solid fight. Dude, it's super good. 00 season 2 has a really good final fight scene where it's like it comes down to Etsuya gets something happens in the anime. Setsuna gets his 00 Riser, but then he has to switch back during the final fight to the original Exia, and they have one final duel, and it's so cool, dude. If 00 ended right there, it would just be good. But 00 didn't end there because apparently all this nonsense of reforming the world was all done for a singular purpose. Yes, everything that happened, it was for a singular purpose of uniting the world so they could talk to a mysterious alien race that has no human form or thought pattern called the Else. And now we get into Mobile Suit Gundam 00, the Awakening of the Trailblazer, which on the surface, and now at the time I had no idea. When I finished 00, I thought that was it. Season 2 was it. There's something else. I didn't know Awakening of the Trailblazer existed. And then I found out 3 years later, Awakening of the Trailblazer existed. I mean, actually, I wouldn't say not in 3 years. I would say I'd say a good, almost 5, 6, 7 years later, I found out about Awakening of the Trailblazer and watched it, and was immediately disappointed. Now, don't get me wrong, Awakening of the Trailblazer movie is interesting. The idea of, okay, Earth users come together so they can talk to an alien, come together and be ready to talk to an alien race. On the surface, it's cool. You know, it's kind of a Macross idea, and it kind of makes sense. In execution, it is terrible. Which is ironically, the whole alien idea carried over to Age, and Age actually did that better than 00. Ironically enough. And they end up having, you know, reforms to talk to the aliens. The aliens have no form. The aliens basically can take over everything, and it turns into like the first part of the movie is like a horror movie beat, and then it turns into a constant battle. But also, the movie has some really good movies. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like, dude, like the OST from this movie is solid, standard, solid, amazing. What on earth is that sound? And it's pretty good. So it's pretty good, but the plot of the movie is so stupid. Like this movie is good if you turn off your brain, ignore everything, and just watch it. It's an okay movie if you do that. If you do anything else, no, you're gonna get upset. You're gonna be like, really, all this suffering was for this nonsense? Pretty crazy. So that's basically Gundam Awakening of the Trailblazer. As a movie, it's kind of disappointing. Like take it from my point of view. If you didn't know this movie existed and you find out, whoa, there's more 00, my favorite Gundam anime, and then it was disappointing, you would feel the same way. So, Gundam 00 Season 1 gets the B tier, Gundam 00 Season 2 gets the C tier, and Awakening of the Trailblazer gets the D tier. See, I put one in every place. One is in A, one's in B, and one is in D. So one's in B, one's in C, and one's in D. And that's how I feel. And that's how we're doing things. Next, alright, down to the final wires. Let's do this, boys. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. The current Gundam anime, the one that's currently airing. And I have to say, I have opinions. I have things to say about this show. Honestly, my character design sort of looks like Witch Mercury, and I tell you, that is actually not actually the case. My character design is not supposed to look like anything like Witch Mercury, but they look similar. So, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch Mercury. What can I say about it? Now, it's still fresh in my mind, and the show was, for the most part, kind of boring in a sense. Slow and boring. Not actually really great right now. Now, Gundam, since Sunrise is actually trying a new approach with this series. They're trying a brand new approach where they're going to split the series up into multiple cores, and on surface it doesn't sound like a bad idea, but it's just like I don't know. Now the first thing is, Witch Mercury doesn't start with the first episode of Witch Mercury. It starts with the prologue. The prologue is solid. It sets you up for the world and you're trying to understand it. So in this world, gun format is used as a medical technology for people who've lost limbs and things of that nature. It's really cool. It's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And there's this group, you're like, hey, because apparently prior events, something happened with Gundams, and this group is trying to get rid of all the Gundams. So Stella's family, they're basically on this remote asteroid, and they're trying to develop a Gundam. They're trying to make this Gundam work, and it's pretty cool. They're like, oh, hey, we're developing a new Gundam with this thing called, we'll use this thing called the permit system, and it can use layers and callbacks, and it's really interesting. Not callbacks in the sense of callbacks to old shows, callback as in that's what a feedback loop, something like that. It's very complicated because the lore isn't very concrete right now. Things haven't been fully explained just yet because we're still in between. So the first half is pretty good. This one dude, Rembrandt, this jerkwad, he's like, okay, Gundam steal your pilot's life, because the problem with this is the whole permit system is, yeah, the deeper you go, the more it messes you up. So if you're not attuned to it, you're basically just gonna die. It's gonna rip you to half. It's like having a Leia Vignana, but worse, but 10 times worse, because it's not an operation you get. It's just something that affects your body and can rip you to shreds for no freaking reason. Well, for a freaking reason, like it will cripple you terribly and kill you. And throughout the prologue, we see that this happened to a lot of people, and it's just like, that's rough. Ooh, that's rough, buddy. That's really rough. And it's like that for everything. And then the ending of the prologue happens, and then the prologue is actually really good. Richard Martin's prologue was actually amazing. I was like, oh man. After I watched prologue, I was like, whoa, I'm really excited for the show. And then the first episode happens, and it was like, oh. Okay. Now the choice to make this the show revolve around the school was always a controversial choice, because school anime can work. It's just the setting can work. It's just like it was always a controversial choice, because school life, the anime is just kind of like, the problem with Wish for Mercury is the majority of the show is slice of life. The anime, like, rarely did we get battle. Rarely did we see people have battle. And when we did see battles, the battles weren't. They were good. They were well animated and they were well executed. Fight and choreography. It's just not much happens until around episode 7, when the teeth of the show starts showing up. But then, for that point, not much really happens. It's just pretty quiet. Okay, we're starting a Gundam company. We're starting a company to make Gundam and medical technology. We're doing this, that, and the other. You know. It doesn't help that a lot of the characters aren't actually super likable. Like, Stella herself is okay. Minoria, sorry, I didn't mean to call her Minoria. I don't know how to say her name. Her. Freaking white-haired chick. I'm tired of her. I really don't like her. I think I'm really just irritated by her the most. She's not really a nice character, and I don't really like her too much. But everyone's like, wow, their romance is super good. And I'm just like, they've been on screen for 5 episodes, and I don't see it. I don't really see it. But this is Gundam, and romance in Gundam doesn't actually make sense. So I'm not worried about that. That's not really the issue here. It's just that she's not really a nice character. I don't really like her too much. People are like, well, I like this relationship. But I'm like, they haven't done anything yet, though. So I'm waiting for that part. And it's kind of the problem with Mercury. It's kind of like, it kind of hasn't done anything yet. Outside of the last episodes with the infamous squish smash with the infamous ketchup scene at the end, but again, hamburgers and ketchup. I'm hungry. Jeez, I want some food. I've been at this for 3 hours, and that's basically really it. Up until honestly, nothing has really happened outside of episode 7 and then the last episode in the prologue. Honestly, the show's just been kind of quiet. So by Gundam standards, it's not very entertaining. It's just kind of a mess right now. It's like, obviously, as I record this next month, the second season is going to air, and it's going to be great, and hopefully I can change my opinion on it. But right now, as Witcher Mercury stands, I am not impressed. I'm not impressed. I am kind of bored right now, you know? It's kind of boring. And a lot of people are bored, but the problem is Twitter won't let you say... People on Twitter won't let you say that the show is bad, because they're like, oh, you just hate the Yuri aspect. It's like, I really don't care about the Yuri aspect. I mean, Gundam has had Yuri characters, and you think I care? Angela's freaking gay from the unicorn, and I no one bat an eye at that. And two dudes were gay in IBO. Well, one of them was. I don't know if the other guy was stipulating those feelings. Shino. But I don't think anyone cared about that. No one really gives a crap about that. I really just care that the show is kind of boring. It's like, come on, man. We need Gundam shows, and this is kind of boring. I'm just kind of bored. Like, it has, like, and the problem is the show has had instances where it's like, oh, this is really good, but then it goes and does something really boring, and it's like, why would you freaking do this? And it's not down to, oh man, you just don't understand lore or world building. No, I understand lore and world building. You can build your lore. Again, if this other material tells you anything, you can build your lore and not be boring. Witcher Mercury is honestly, for the most part, pretty boring. Outside of the thing, the school aspect was really a controversial pick for a reason. It's kind of boring. So I'm gonna give Witcher Mercury the neutral C tier because I don't have an opinion on it yet. It's just, I'm just not feeling it, and I don't want to get crucified. I think the problem is if you criticize the show, you're gonna get crucified, and I don't want to get crucified because I just honestly am kind of bored. I'm just honestly kind of bored. Hopefully season 2 looks better, and it looks like season 2 will be an improvement. I mean, Core 2. Sorry, Core 2. Also, the crazy Amuro-like and Camille-like girl. Solid picks. I love that these two exist, and I'm eagerly waiting to see what they do. They're the most interesting part of the show. That's sad. The villain characters are the interesting part of the show. Oh, also Gundam Prack is so cool. Gundam Prack, guys. And Ariel's pretty cool. Does those do. And a couple other ones, but Gundam Prack is cool. I love this thing. It's cool. I don't have the high grade. My local shops are selling them for like $50. So I won't be getting one right now. Even though I want one. $50. Jesus Christ. I have to go find someone online. So, next. The GOAT. The man. The myth, the legend. After War. Gundam X. Let me tell you. I'm not gonna mince words. I'm not gonna even say anything because I want you to watch. I don't even want to spoil this. I just want to say this show is set in an alternate universe. A war happened, and then the apocalypse happened. That's it. New types exist. Awesome intro, awesome end theme, great characters. Garoto ran. I want to keep it short. I don't want to say nothing about the show because the show is that good that you need to watch it. My point has stand. After War Gundam X, solid show. Favorite mobile suit in the show. The After War X itself. The Gundam itself, Double X itself, Garoto ran, Robbie, this guy, Airmaster, Jamil himself is the solid man, dude, man, myth, the legend. He is awesome. If you want me to elaborate or I won't spoil, I'll do it in the comment section. I love this show. This show is great. It is so good. I have to put it a tier above everything else. After War Gundam X, S tier. If you've seen the show and know what I'm talking about, you know. If you haven't seen the show and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch the show. It really is sad that halfway through its production it got canceled, but the show is so good. After War Gundam X, my boys. Solid. Down to the final two, it's your boy. Now, we're going to do this in order. So we're going to do our boy. But before I do this, I have to do one thing. Because I lied. There is no S tier, boys. I waited this whole time to show you. There is no S tier. It's actually the true tier. Here's the true tier. Yeah, I lied. There is no S tier. It's the Turn A tier. Because that is the peak of Gundam. Turn A is the peak of Gundam. We are here to do it, boys. Strap in, boys, because we're doing it. Turn A Gundam. The best. The peak of Gundam. Turn A Gundam is the peak Gundam show. I'm going to tell you why. Turn A is set so far in the future of Gundam where basically humanity has been set, for some reason, humanity has been reset to 1948, to pre-industrial era America. And you're probably wondering, what the heck happened here? So the series starts with our main character coming off a spaceship from space. You're probably thinking, how did that happen? Don't worry about it. We're going to explain these things because it's super cool. Turn A. And basically, he ends up getting adopted by this Heim family and ends up staying with them. You know, stuff happens. He ends up drowning. He gets saved by these girls, and then they adopt him into the family as they're short for as thanks for them saving his life. The main character, Lauren Seahak's life. And stuff happens pretty okay. He ends up living under society for a while. Lauren has two friends that come off the spaceship, and they end up integrating into modern society. You're like, okay, so maybe these people are aliens. That's okay. We're going to see where this is going. And then, boom, the aliens come back, and like, people from the aliens come back and say, we start attacking it. During this coming of age ceremony that the people of this time period have. It's really interesting. And then, the big shocking reveal, during this coming of age story, him and the young Heim girl, Socia Heim, you know, they end up coming across this giant totem statue. And then during the chaos, the totem statue breaks apart and is revealed to be a giant mobile suit with a mustache. And then the series goes off from there because I do not want to spoil Turn A. Turn A is basically a world. What if Turn A is like War of the Worlds meets Gundam with the Studio Ghibli art style. And if you've seen this show, you've watched the show, you've heard of the show, you love the show, watch it. Turn A Gundam is the best Gundam show of all time. It is beautiful. It is artistic. It is heartbreaking. It is amazing. It is an environmental. It is great. If you've seen it, great. I don't even want to spoil. I don't even want to go into it. I feel like I've already spoiled so much just by saying words because I know most people have not seen the show. That's why I don't want to spoil it. But it is the peak of Gundam. If you have seen it, you know why it's the peak. If you haven't seen it, it is the peak. And basically every other Gundam show is connected to it. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, yeah. I can't say more. I wish I could say more. If you want to know more, you're gonna have to watch the show and do a little more research. And I'm joking. You're just gonna have to watch the show. I can't say more. I want to say more. I want to say so much more. I will literally elaborate in the comment section, but I will put a giant spoiler tag when I elaborate in the comment section on all these shows. But it's just so good. Turn A Gundam is Turn A tier. Turn A tier. You got A and Turn A tier. Okay, dokie. Final. Okay, dokie. Final. G-Reconquista, which I cannot get into spoilers on G-Reconquista, but G-Reconquista is a really good show. If you've seen it, if you know anything else about Turn A and G-Reconquista, their connection between each other, you're gonna know why I put these two together. So G-Reconquista happens in a far-out civilization where there is now a taboo on technology, and there is this giant holy organization called the Capital Tower. They're basically in charge of getting these photon batteries from the moon. And our young pilot, Bell Rezino, is basically he's training to be a Capital guardsman. And then a mysterious mobile suit falls from space, and Bell ends up taking that mobile suit. Why one of the space pirates ended up trying to take it. And a mysterious girl named Mariah Monday falls from this mysterious mobile suit while the mobile suit escapes. That is all I have to say. That's all I want to say. Go watch the show, and then I'll give you an opinion. All I have to say is, it's great. Now, this is the show. How you experience the show is different depending on which continuity you watch. There is the movie continuity, which has just now wrapped up, and then there's the show continuity. The show continuity and the movie continuity are ostensibly the same, but I would say the movies are phenomenally better. I have not seen the final parts of the movie, so I cannot give you my final thoughts on the show because the movies have not. I haven't seen those because they've been translated, but we just cannot watch them yet. So I have to wait till Sunrise decides to release them, and then I'm going to do a whole different video on that. But from the TV version, I liked it. Now, G-Reco is considered bad because most people don't understand what's going on. Again, a lot of things happen in Gundam. People go, it's bad because you don't understand. You can't call something bad because you don't understand it. It just means you need to dig a little harder to find the answer. People say it's confusingly written, but it actually makes sense if you've seen the show. Honestly, I would say if you were going to watch G-Reco, the movies are so much better. Watch the movie. It explains everything pretty well, and you get the sense of what's going on. So I'm going to do controversial take. G-Reco goes into A tier, Turn A tier, because of the connection it has with Turn A and the other thing. So that is our tier list. As you can see, this is the tier list. I want to do one final pan of it so you can see it. So we're going to do each tier. So for A tier, for Turn A tier, we have Turn A, G-Reco, After War X, and Cucuruz Duns Island. For A tier, we have Gundam the Original, G Gundam, Unicorn, Original Gundam, Build Fighters, 8th MS, Origin, Zate Gundam, Double Zeta, and War in a Pocket. For B tier, we have F91, Double O, Seed, Evolve, IBO, Windless Waltz, Victory, Hathaway's Flash, Gundam Build Divers Season 1, Gundam Thunderbolt Season 1, Build Divers Season 2, Spirit Defender Gundam Force, Build Fighters, Stargazer, and Age. For C tier, we have Astray, we have Witcher Mercury, NT, Season 2 Double O, Wing, G Saviors, Wing of Gundam, Gundam 30th, Double 83 War in a Pocket, Double 83 Stardust Memory. The second movie, which I probably should put in a lower tier, so I'll move to a lower tier because it's not that good. C, Gundam Build Breaker Battlelog, and Gundam SD Special. For D, we have IBO Season 3, Season 2, Build Beginning G, Sea Destiny, Waking the Trailblazer, and that movie. For F, the only F tier, we have Gundam Twilight Axis, Gundam Build Divers, and for currently watching all of this. And that is the tier list. My throat hurts. I need to go sit down. If you like the video, don't forget to comment and subscribe. This has been your host. Once again, if this video gets enough likes, we will be doing a different tier list. So I just want to thank everyone for putting up with all the delays, reshoots. I've reshooted this video 4 times, so This is the final cut, and I'm really happy with the way this one has turned out. So I'm ready to work on something else now. I have another grand project I'm working on, so stay tuned. Anyways, it's been your host, Shine0 and goodbye. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. I wish I could do a final shot of all of it together. Yeah, I don't think I can get. I don't think I can get all this in frame. I think I have to zoom out a little more. Let me see. Yeah, I think I got all of it in frame. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I think I got all of it in frame, but you can't see it. That's a problem. Anyway, bye. Welcome back. It's been 6 months. Back by extremely popular demand. We were here to do it again. We probably like Cheyenne. What the heck's going on? We're here. Oh, what the frick? Get your butt back in F tier. Why are you? Get your butt back in F tier. You don't. All right, this is the third time I had to re-record this part, but here we are, back for the third time. It's been 6 months. Here we go. Now I feel I was a little harsh to Gundam C Freedom. Why is IBO Season 3 in detail? Okay, that's a problem. I'll put IBO Season 3 back in C tier. Maybe it wasn't D tier. Maybe it wasn't D tier. Okay, so last time I know I was a little harsh on Gundam C Destiny. I mean, you know, it's a little harsh. I was a little harsh on the Trailblazer, so I'm here to make it right. You know, it's been 6 months. My opinions have changed since the original parts. You know, we're on a. I mean, spoiler free. It's a April 2024. You know, things have changed and a lot of things have changed. So let's start. First thing, Gundam Seed Freedom. You know, in Seed Destiny, you know, I was a little harsh too. You know, I was a little mean to the movie show. It wasn't that bad. Even on the first half was fantastic. It's a masterclass in Gundam. The second half is just not great. Second half, I'm not too happy with the writing. It just went off the wall, and I'm just not too happy about that. But you know what? The show wasn't that bad. It wasn't a D tier, so I'm gonna move it up to C tier. Awakening of the Trailblazer is the same way. You know, I think my raw reaction to Awakening of the Trailblazer was, you know, I didn't know this movie existed. You know, as a freaking Gundam 00 fan, I am a really, really big 00 fan. Like, I think, where is 00? I'm pretty sure I need to update 00 and put it in a higher tier, but I'm a really big 00 fan, so the fact that this movie came out and it wasn't anything like 00 made me sad. It hurt my heart. So, for that, I was a little harsh on it, but, you know, 00, it's still really good. You know, it's great. It's not terrible. Awakening Trailblazer isn't that bad. I need to stop. Okay. Where is Gundam 00 though? Where is Gundam 00 though? Oh, it's right there. Also, I think Gundam 00 is so awesome. I need to move it up a tier. Yes, my Gundam 00 bias is activating again. Tell Shine to stop. I want to put it in a higher tier, but my 00 bias is activating. So it's a high B. It's an extremely high B. I feel like I need to make a whole new tier for B, like a B plus. 00 is a B plus it's a B plus or middle A. That's what I should do. I should start making new tiers, but it's whatever. So what's new? Okay, so this has been 6 months. There's just been a couple new Gundam shows that have been aired ever since there are Gundam shows that wasn't here. So first thing, Hello Kitty vs. Gundam, a pretty hilarious little Hello Kitty Gundam collab where basically Hello Kitty is watching Gundam and saying, "Man, Amuro is sad. I can fix him." And then she goes into the Gundam world, tries to stop the war. It's funny. It's ridiculous. We even got some really funny model kits out of it. I think it's great. It's a funny little special. If you liked it, you should watch it. If you haven't seen it, go watch Hello Kitty vs. Gundam. It's hilarious. Give that the C tier. It's pretty funny. It's fun. Turn your brain off. Don't think about it. It's funny. Model kits are cool. I didn't get any of them. They're really expensive now. Holy crap, guys. Come on. Come on, brothers. I know it's a limited time. Next. Now, technically, we're not going to do C yet. Gundam Build Metaverse. The last Gundam show that aired, the last one, with Bandai's big attempt to do the Metaverse. Gundam Build Metaverse. It's a 3-episode OVA, which it should have been longer. A little Gundam short where you get to see all of the builds here. It is a capstone. It is like a tight little bow to wrap up the build series. It has every build protagonist, for better and for worse. For better and for worse. God dang it, Riku. You ruin everything. But it is a great little show. It's 3 episodes. It's on Gundam Info. Watch it. I love it. It's amazing. You got to see Saviour back, which is what all build fans wanted. You got to see Fumita. Jesus, Fumita looks great. Jesus, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm the ultimate Fumita stan. I am not gonna hold you. Look great. And the freaking storyline is really, it's actually okay. A boy and his master tries to redeem his master after she had to follow with her sibling. That's it. That is the story. It's great. Watch it. Animation's fun. The new what the heck is that? The new suits are awesome. I love it. It's fun. Freaking give that boy the freaking beats here. It's fun. I love it. And the song is amazing. Look here. You got the freaking dudes who sang the original Gundam Bill Fighters intro and came back and made a new song. Dude. God, this show is so good. Freaking good. The only con is it's 3 episodes. Please, I wish that Bandai would have greenlit more episodes. Hopefully, if their metaverse thing ever pans out, we'll get more episodes. Next, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. But before we do Gundam Seed Freedom, I really should do that. Gundam Witcher Mercury. Now, as you can see, last time the prologue and Witcher Mercury weren't here. Now, I feel like I was a little vague because Witcher Mercury was still airing, but now that it's over, I can actually talk a little bit more. Now, Witcher Mercury is a very strange show because... Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of Witcher Mercury. And the reason for that is because of this exists. Because the prologue exists. They're probably wondering, well, why does the prologue existing make you dislike Witcher Mercury? Because the prologue and Witcher Mercury seem like 2 completely different shows. Because if you came into Witcher Mercury, now most people actually, what I'm noticing is most people actually didn't watch the prologue and didn't know the prologue existed. Which is funny because that makes no sense. The prologue, you should have watched the prologue first. Because then you would understand why some people dislike Witcher Mercury's anime. You know, the prologue and Witcher Mercury seem like 2 completely different shows. And heck, the novelization and Witcher Mercury seem like 2 different shows if you notice. It's like, these things do not seem to correlate to each other. So in the prologue, it's different. You know, Witcher Mercury had some high and low points. A lot of low points, unfortunately, due to how they chose to write things. It's not necessarily... You know, the school setting was always controversial, but that was a give and take. But prologue of Witcher Mercury is just a completely different beast. It feels like a completely different story. Like, these 2 things outside of the characters do not seem like they correlate to each other. So, for that reason, I want to give Witcher Mercury, the freaking prologue, a B tier because it's a better show than the actual show. That actually makes no sense. Why is the prologue better? The prologue was just like, great story, great animation, great characters, and it set up the conflict perfectly. Witcher Mercury, it literally, I've heard from multiple people that Witcher Mercury behind the scenes was a nightmare. You know, I heard that there was a lot of issues with it, and that was interesting, like especially in production, like production problems. Which I remember the infamous first episode wasn't even mostly done most of the way. You know, some parts had to come back and get changed in the later part, which usually isn't uncommon. That does happen. But Witcher Mercury Season 1 just seems like a bit of an enigma. You know, they had time to plan this and then just kind of went, interesting. Season 2, on the other hand, ooh. Look out, I'll put it this way. Season 2 of Witcher Mercury made me dislike IVO Season 2 less. I'm gonna put it that way. Now, how do you go off now I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but the ending of the first season, you know, ended on a high note. Pretty high note. It's like, okay, we're doing something, we're going somewhere. You know, we had a couple episodes of not really doing nothing before the ending episodes. You know, we're going somewhere. And then Witcher Mercury Season 2 is we're just gonna rush to the end. And I was like, I thought this show had 4 more cores. Apparently they didn't have 4 more cores. Like, this show was supposed to have like a couple cores, and then they decided, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna end it right now. That was a very bad decision. They should not have done that. This show should have had a lot more time to cook, because it feels like they didn't let the show cook. They needed to let the show cook, and they did not want to let the show cook. They're like, we're done. We're bored. We need to end this now. So when a series does that, that's when you get bad decisions made. I don't want to go into it fully. I want to give it its own video, even though people would disagree and say, the second season was perfect. It was not. If you've seen any other Gundam show, no, it is no. Like, obviously, there were some really good moments, but then they just rushed it. Like, the freaking new villain Gundam girls that I liked, they freaking just wasted them. Wasted. That was a waste of the characters. Just wasted. I'm sorry. If you like those characters, they were wasted. Don't watch second season. It was a waste. It's like, why even do that? Why? What was the point? The freaking mobile suits themselves at the end. Like, the ending is literally a cobbled together ending of every other Gundam show, and that's not great. That's not a good thing. You do not. That's not good. It's like every other Gundam show's ending, but done worse. And then they tried to do stuff from... I think the other thing that people liked about the show is it did reference other Gundam shows, but the references kind of fell flat, if you're being honest. You gotta be honest with you. So, because of that, I have to give the second season a D tier. You know, there are things that are like, ooh, that's a reference to Gundam X, but it didn't understand why that worked in Gundam X. Or, ooh, that's a reference to this show. Or, ooh, that's a reference. And it's like, just because you reference something doesn't make it good. That being said, next, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. Man, that felt so good to say. Freedom! Sorry, I had to say it again. Freedom. Jesus, so good. Anyway, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom, the best Gundam Seed movie out right now, except that it's not out right now. I have not seen the movie. So I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen the movie in its entirety. I watched both the prologue, the 10-minute specials on both Gundam Info and on Facebook, and I watched them both in English and Japanese. Really sad that the original English cast is not coming back to reprise their role. They used the new Funimation dub cast, which for that reason I'll probably just watch it sub, which I'm very sad because I wanted to hear my boy, my boys from Ed and Eddie out here voicing Gundam Seed again. That's not happening. Thanks Funimation, you ruin everything like always. I mean, well, Funimation's dead now. Not R.I.P. Rest in spaghetti. You will be forgetty. But it wasn't a, from what I know as not, I've read the synopsis, I've seen the spoilers, I know what happens in the movie, I know what happens, I have a full picture. I don't want to spoil the movie because I haven't fully seen it. Plus, I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm not going to show any clips from the movie, from the later trailers, only from the first trailer. I'm only showing clips from the first trailer, so you're going to see those right here. That's it. I'm not showing, any pictures, that's it. I'm not showing anything else. But for the time being, I'm going to give Gundam Seed Freedom the A tier, but when I finish this movie, I want to put it in freaking turn A tier. Mark my words, boys. Next, Gundam Seed Eclipse. Now, Gundam Seed Eclipse is not actually an anime. You can't actually watch it like an anime. It's actually a manga. But because it's on Gundam Info and they're set up and they're voice acted in a way that's like sort of like a live picture anime, it counts now because I'm going to count it because you can't stop me. You know what you're going to do about it. You're going to complain about the comment section. I like to see you try. Gundam Seed Eclipse is awesome. If you like Seed and this is the Cosmic Era, it's a nice little side story that's really cool that I wish will one day actually get a proper anime. But for now, we have the manga thing on Gundam Info, which I watch every time they upload. Honestly, currently it's still ongoing and it's still pretty good, and I liked it. I think it's really good. I think it's super, super fantastic, and I love it. And I actually like it. So, watch it. So I give the B tier, boy. It's really good. You should watch it, please. Please watch it for Shine, please. Please, I don't beg for you for take anything from this video. Please just watch the things I asked you to watch. Please watch them. I beg of you. I beg you, please. Next, the last one please. Now I noticed in the original video, I didn't talk about, your boy G-Reco as much as I should have because I wanted to save it for you, the viewer. But G-Reco has been slandered by multiple people because they didn't understand it. So I'm here to undo the slandering. G-Reco is a good anime for those who understand Tomino's work. G-Reco is like a Gundam anime that was animated, like a 70s to 80s Gundam anime that's animated today. That's how it feels, and that's how you should view the show. It is fantastic. If you're a fan of Tomino's work and truly understand it, not just, oh, you're a Gundam fan. No, like if you truly understand Tomino's work, you're gonna like G-Reco. You're gonna get it. You're gonna like, okay, it makes sense. The problem is the anime is too short, so then you should watch the movies. The movies are way better. You should watch the movies. They understand the plot literally from Berberzinen all the way down to the Capitol Tower. That stuff is explained down to the global Venus global to the moon. Everything is explained, and it is fantastic movie. Freaking turn. So I'm gonna rank them all. Freaking G-Reco movie 1, solid. I love it. Go Core Fighter, best one. It even has the end theme from the movie and the intro from the TV show. Freaking best way to watch it. Freaking your boy, Veils Change, really good. Great pacing, great story. Doesn't really go into the Kunta thing, which if you know about the Kunta thing, Kuntas, yeah, that's wild, ain't it? Yeah, people. Okay, I was scarred by that. Don't look that up. Don't look into that, please. Next, freaking this one, Legacy in Space, super fantastic movie, amazing. It takes the anime arc and turns it on its head. I love it. At turn A tier, obviously. Freaking this one, so much detail about Venus Global, so much detail about the battle, new expanded scenes, love it. I'm not showing that, but really good. Freaking turn A tier. And last but not least, the last movie. It's amazing. It's good. It's basically the same thing as the original anime, but it has a couple of bonus scenes, a updated dialogue. Really amazing. I love it. The animation is awesome. Photon battery scares me. Jesus Christ, photon torpedoes scare me. Please, they scare me. Jesus Christ. Freaking turn A tier. Alright, boys, that's the tier list. I'm not doing this again. Never ask me to do this again. If I do another video on this tier list, it's not going to be a whole new tier list. I'm just going to update it when new things come out, because obviously we currently have that Gundam Netflix show currently airing, and then we have the new G Gundam project, and then the other Gundam, whatever this is, the VR metaverse Gundam show, which I want to watch, and a couple other things. And that legendary Gundam movie still hasn't had anything talked about it. Does that movie still exist? Does anyone know where that movie is? And no one knows anything about Hathaway other movies, or UC2, or any of that stuff. Does any of this still exist? Do any of these things still are these things still happening? Does anyone know? Will someone tell me? I don't know. Here's tier list. Turn A tier. So here's tier list. Turn A tier. Here's A tier at the moment. B tier at the moment. C tier, D tier, and F tier, and that's it. Oh yeah, I also forgot to tell you. I moved up all the freaking Imus Igloos to C. They're really good. Watch them. C tier. Watch them. That's it. Tier list over. I don't want to do this anymore. This video is like 15 minutes long. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. My eyes hurt. My eyes hurt. Never ask me to do it this way again. Wait, where'd I put yeah, okay, that's it. Video over. My eyes hurt. Slow pan, but it's fine. Video over.